Steve is always murdering. Are we on? Oh, hey! Good evening! Are we live? Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's episode of Loot, Die, Repeat, where a bunch of us schmucks and fantasy murderers sit around, roll dice, laugh at each other, do some collaborative storytelling, which is our little version of Dungeons & Dragons. We are so thankful that you are here sharing in that storytelling with us. And as our way of saying thank you, we have some giveaways, which I got a new turntable, and then I realize now, looking at the screen, that I forgot to turn it on. So I'm going to go do that as soon as we're through the intro. It's bigger. It's twice as round. Well, diameter, twice as big. And I see you making those inappropriate jokes, which I shall not repeat. And it can hold up to 280 pounds, Adam. So we could rotate you on there, I think. We're gonna give away Adam this week. That's right. The shipping on that might be $500, but that's okay. Well, we will give away 2 sets of dice tonight. One at the beginning or middle or, you know, wherever we actually think of it. And then one towards the end of the stream here. And if we get 40 more new subscriptions or gifted subs, we will give away that spider dragon, which is currently stationary but will be rotating soon. And that is, again, as our way of saying thank you to the amazing community that you are, which has popped up around our little stream that is engaging with us on a weekly basis. We love when you do chat and give us ideas and joke and make fun and all those things. We know it's all in good humor, and so please do so. Carissa maybe cackles when Cackles makes fun of the DM, that she means it. But yeah, please participate on the in the chat, and if you would care to do so, you can cheer bits and affect the outcome of the game. If you type in !rewards, you can see all of the different ways that you can affect the game through the cheering of bits, from advantages to disadvantages to temporary hit points to spell slots and more. You can be creative and you can cheer, and we will incorporate your ideas and your shenanigans into the stream as best we can within... We maintain and retain creative license over over how we progress. But you guys have saved the party many, many times from certain death, and we appreciate your impact on the game. In fact, I've had to adjust how I DM just because you guys overpower them so regularly. But honestly, last session, you guys just destroyed my Jabberwock without too much help from the community. You guys had advantages and you used them, but beyond that, man, you guys annihilated me. So what happened last time? Well, I'll tell you, to a little tear that falls down my eye and cheek.
Oh, you didn't get to kill anybody.
I did get to knock out Cacophony. So as
I popped you right back.
That's something.
It's like saying you beat up like a 5-year-old, so.
I did steal 5-year-old candy, though.
I really pummeled that little kid there.
That's right, that's right.
I might not have killed you, but I did kick over your tulips.
That's
So what
right.
about that?
That's right.
Yeah. See if they come back up next year.
They're not perennial.
Doesn't count.
So our party, having gone through the Spire of the Mad Wizard to rescue the body and soul of Greer Al-Habd, who is trapped within, a Harengon who met them in the Dreaming Dark, saved them out of this cave of darkness in which they were trapped, and bade them come save him, reuniting his body with his spirit. Traveling to the spire, the party made their way through the various levels, overcoming several unseelie attacks against them, overcoming a puzzle within the... you guys did well with that puzzle, too. Several riddles and whatnot. Meeting a new friend, a Kenku who can talk, which is really wild, named Cacophony, who was seemingly teleported there after, well, the party lost one of their friends, Knick-Knack, a gnomish artificer who was taken into the astral projection device on the second floor. So trading out one friend for another, the party finally traveled to the top of the tower and found Greer's body levitating or resting, if you will, on a shadowy pillow wrapped in a blanket of light as the protectors or defenders of his slumber engaged the party. A massive Jabberwock with long, sinewy neck and leathery green wings, a babbling mouth, and a weapon. Its breath kind of, actually, was an eye laser beam fired radiant beams out of its eyes weapon that engaged the party. He began to whittle the party away, and then they all just unleashed the full fury of the 9 hells upon it. As Hashin had a double crit in one round on which he was able to smite. So he did a total of over 170 points of damage in one round, which happens to be more than half of the creature's health. As the rest of the party also whittled down the creature in that same round, 2 Korrid, Hair Fae, emerged and sought to attack the party, and they quickly took care of them as well, but not before one of them was able to knock Cacophony out. The lower leveled Kenku, who was level 4, the rest of the party level 8, though she was quickly revived by Celine, who would not let her new comrade remain unconscious.
You're gonna be my meat shield, little buddy. I need you.
Ray, however, saw the battered and de-winged Jabberwock sizing up Hashin and rushed to its side, grappled it, and prevented it from taking Hashin over the edge of the tower. Instead, herself being teleported away by the Jabberwock, where she was able to match it strength for strength.
I beat it.
She
Strength for strength. Don't underestimate me. I critted on like 2 of those.
Did you ever in the
Dude, if you're Anakin, you would have fallen in the
the
dark
King
side.
Kong movies where King Kong would fight a T-Rex?
Yes.
And he'd like
yes.
he'd like just crack its jaw in half and then like play with it. That's exactly how Ray treated this Jabberwock.
That's how she treats everything.
She annihilated it and finished it with a massive thunder fist to the face, which obliterated its nose and its eyes with its nictitating membrane and all the rest, as the body was unable to pile drive Ray to the ground, seeking to take her out with it. Instead, she yip-yipped her magic flying boots and was able to comfortably descend, recover the carcass, and pull it back up to the top of the tower, for she knew that they needed its blood. Cacophony and Ray quickly went to work, retrieving the blood from the heart of the creature, which Cacophony was able to do. And they quickly realized that there might be some other aspects of this creature's corpse which may have value or use. And so, sizing up those parts, they are determining how to approach that. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, Hugo, our battle singing wizard with his crazy AC, and our purple monk Helgi, formerly known as Vex, and our Aasimar cleric Celine, and our half elf, half drow, warlock in denial. Hashin.
He's a sorcerer.
He's a sorcerer. Set about seeking to wrest Greer from his slumber. Putting together the invocation of waking, it was determined after several different attempts that true love's kiss was needed. And so, falteringly, hesitatingly, Hashin and Celine embraced. Hashin far more inviting and engaging in his lean. Celine rather hesitant and demure, but willing. And the two embraced, if ever so briefly, which set the ring that Ray had given Celine alight.
You did that.
The ring formerly worn by Marishka, the sorceress that Ray once had ventured with. As the ring began to glow, Celine took the ring and pressed it to the lips of Greer, who a moment later had his chest rise with breath and his eyes open with life as his rabbit Harengon ears stand up on end. He looks up at the party and smiles, a joyous smile of victory. You've done it!
That's what I have.
I'm back! I'm back! Callooh Calais! Glorious day! Oh! Whoa! You've done it! And he kind of sits up, as he is kind of slow to gain his faculties. What have you done? How did you do it? Oh, it's glorious, glorious. It's been years, decades. Oh, I can't. He's clearly elated to have his body and his spirit joined once more.
How are your muscles working?
That's actually a good question. Medicine check on atrophied muscles.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
I hope he flops right over. 12.
12?
I'm sorry, 15.
It seems that whatever sort of magical slumber took him also magically kept his muscles from atrophying to the point of uselessness.
Is he shredded?
He has a long kind of bluish, dark midnight blue cloak that covers his Harengon body. Difficult to tell if he is shredded. And even if you could see beyond, he is covered in fur. Which makes the definition of his muscles a bit obscured.
Welcome back!
Oh, this is glorious! Glorious!
How do you feel? Everything working properly?
Well...
Oh, ready? Repeat after me. Ray says touch your head. Ray says hold out your arms. Ray says do 5 jumping jacks. Come on, you gotta see if all your muscles work. Ray says touch your toes. Ray says pat your head and move your stomach around and jump up and down on one foot. Go, go, go! Ray starts doing that. Okay, he seems to be working properly.
He's clear.
A little bit of an overreactor, eh?
I'd say an overreactor.
What did you do? What did you find? What is going on?
Well, we find that you're a little crazy, and then we killed a dragon.
What?
Yeah, there was a Jabberwock thing guarding you in your magical slumber.
I tore off its head.
Well, you took care of it. Excellent. And he kind of hops off the hand that's there, and there's a lightness to his step, which you didn't really see when he was in his spirit form. He almost, there's a bit of a bob as he walks, his long, slender legs kind of rearing back a little bit, almost kangaroo-like, as if they are ready to spring at any moment. You can't see those legs per se because it's obscured by the cloak, but you kind of imagine that as he steps and the spring to his step. He goes over to Cacophony, who's standing there with her hands on her hips, kind of sizing up this creature as there's a set of tools on the ground in front of her that she has placed there, and he kind of goes to reach down to begin to reach for one.
Excuse me, talking wabbit. Those are mine, and I don't know who you are.
Did you Elmer Fudd it right there?
If I did, I didn't mean
You
to.
rascally wabbit.
You talking wabbit?
Was that a joke?
No.
Who are you? What are you? I didn't see you before. You didn't come in here.
Oh, she's with us.
I actually don't know how I got here.
Are you the gnome? Did it transmogrify into something else? Oh,
no.
interesting.
I don't think I'm a gnome. That would be weird.
Where's the gnome?
He is
Did he
now
Did he pass?
Oh!
attached to the stone.
And with a creature with many eyes.
You have an obelisk type thing.
His eyes go wide.
You're going to see it soon anyway.
He interacted with it and then
Oh,
flashed in and out.
that's-
And,
And he was talking about a creature with a lot of eyes.
Mhm.
Lots
so
of
he
eyes.
is one with the projector, and he has met Nazrak within.
Did you know that was there?
Well, I used it
Why didn't you
until
tell us about that?
Didn't think it was important at the time.
You should probably stop, searching for death. Because, I don't know, all these things happened, and you went a little crazy, and your books, they were a little crazy, and
I
everything's a
never
little crazy.
searched for death. I searched for my Lorelei.
Who's dead?
Yes, but you seem
Ray, you can't just tell people that they're
It's
dead.
unclear.
Over
Unclear.
years.
Hey,
I think the
geez, I have something for him.
Yes. What is it?
He reaches into his pocket, and he has a carrot that he took from before.
You mock me with your. I'll take it.
I just figured that you'd be hungry because you've been asleep for decades.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, actually,
This
you
is
know
the
what?
first food that you've had in probably a while, right?
Yes.
I hope it's a good carrot.
It's
It's a big one.
exquisite. Oh. I should go find Mart.
No. Real quick, do you think it is wise to have partnered with those who you partnered with?
No, of course not. They tricked me. I hope you killed them all.
Well, that we did, and not in a very efficient manner. But we got there.
Your tower did sustain a bit of
Yeah, I
damage.
hope you don't like the second floor of
Yeah,
your tower.
it-
'Cause it is ash.
It's now at stage 0 of a remodel, which is great.
Think of it this way. Open floor plan, you can do it with what
That's
you'd like.
fantastic.
It was
That's
a little
great.
depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
a
You
bit
should
of
put more
the
rivets.
other tower on the other side of the mirror was blowed up. This one, we don't know what that floor looks like.
That's true, yeah.
Ah,
no,
the
that's true.
mirror. It is a reflection of reality and reality all at once.
Well, that makes no sense whatsoever.
I'm still figuring it out myself. It was a gift from the Fae. Maybe we should smash it.
Should we
No,
perhaps
I don't
exit
think.
through
It
it?
seems to have been smashed when we arrived. It did not stop the Fae. They were there.
Well,
That's a good point.
they had decades to get here either by other means or by that. I know not. I slumbered and couldn't get back in, as you know.
Hey, there was also another guy here. I think his name was Dimitri. I don't quite remember.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I vaguely remember. I barely talked to him. So
What
you know.
you
He's a-
talking about?
Yeah, you didn't talk at
Y'all
all.
like,
did more than
we're
talking
making
with
out a little bit,
Hey,
you know?
hey! Our rabbit friend here doesn't need to know that, huh?
Yeah.
Come on, Sadiq. So anyway, he's a vampire from the Fae. How'd he get here?
Dimitri.
But he wasn't like, I want to suck your blood, vampire. It was more-
Just I want to
You
stick my
wanted to
tongue down your
suck
throat.
something up.
It was more like, I think, emotional
laughs at that.
damage.
Emotional damage.
I think that's what they
I don't know. He kind of hurt me kind of bad. He did like 30 points of damage to me.
Emotionally.
No, physically, it really hurt.
Listen, I went into that fight with like 6 hit points. I remember. I too was stupid.
The
Oh,
With
you're
my-
pretty
mind and the
cool.
body are joined. And what happens to the heart has effects on the body.
I don't know what
True.
you're talking about.
Well, the fae that you made a deal with, did you make a deal with an individual? What was their name? Are they going to come back for you now that you've awoken?
These are all good questions. I traveled to my home, the Feywild, and was willing to entertain the offer of the courts of winter. One that I had not yet previously done work with. I was always more of a summer type myself.
Oh, I love the summer too.
Right.
Although one time I did go to a place that was all winter, and then I met Santa Claus, and that was really cool, and then we got chased by a dragon, and then I think I ran away from the dragon, and then we got chased by the Grinch, and then I ran away from the Grinch, and then I got back here. But
I
it's
believe
pretty
it was
cool
the-
winter
the
adventure.
Granch.
What?
The Granch.
Oh, the branch. Sorry. Sometimes I pronounce my A's like I's.
No, yeah, no.
Trademark.
I was.
Although I have to say, I don't know where she comes up with these stories because I honestly fanciful. But yeah, I like the winter court though. I like it cold, you know.
Really? But you're from the desert.
Not by choice.
Oh, that makes sense then.
Probably because he's a half drow. He gives you a side-eyed glance.
Do not the courts work together here?
Well, it's the way it's supposed to happen,
I
but
wasn't
there's a
sh-
bit of animosity between them.
Why is that?
I wasn't sure if Dimitri was lying or not, but
No,
the courts.
I could tell when he hit my Adam's apple that he's a truth speaker.
How's that?
How do the courts operate where you're from?
When I saw the globe that was down there or anywhere, did I ever see anything pertaining to Midgard in this place?
You saw reference to Midgard as it related to the material plane. And so Midgard was referred to as an alternate material plane.
In your studies, you have come across my homeworld of Midgard. Perhaps. You may not have remembered.
Rare are denizens of Midgard.
What is a denizen?
Citizen,
Oh,
resident,
okay.
folk.
I got it.
Keep going.
I don't know. That was so funny, but
Well, I am no purple goblin, and so the connection between my actual heart and my actual brain and my actual spirit is no more. So this body is from here.
So what was your original body?
When did this become 21 questions on purple?
because you started asking him about the courts. This is how a conversation
Yes.
works. You ask a question and then the
No,
other
we
person
need
asks a question.
information from him.
You gotta
No.
give it.
What you need from me
Presents?
is a writ
Aw.
That's
to my study.
that is right.
As he kind of hops to, he hops to the, tops to the trap door, and he just stomps on it 3 times. It opens automatically, and he just hops down, doesn't take the ladder.
Ooh, that's
Wait, we
pathetic.
just came from there. Are we going back?
I think so.
We only came up here to free him. So,
And kill the dragon.
and that as well. We didn't plan that was going to be
This
here,
was
but
a jabberwock.
it just came up.
Which is a dragon.
Did you get everything you needed from it?
A jabberwock.
I
Works in the portal, then
It's a
it's
type of
fine.
dragon.
think so.
Then it's a dragon.
It is of the dragon family.
I
but
got
it is-
what I could.
They rolled, right, for
Non-traditional
collecting
reason.
from the Jabberwock?
They got the blood.
Uh-huh.
If you wanted to try
I
to
got-
harvest anything else from it, that would take several hours.
Do it. I want Jabberwock
Depending on
armor.
how much. And were you trying to get scales? Were you trying to get the leather?
Can I get the front incisor tooth?
Oh, burn.
I want a
Let me,
Jabberwocky
let me
tooth.
see if it's still there after you obliterated its head.
Yeah, that's
They need
fair.
dentures.
I'll take some scales if I can.
There is a tooth, but it's like one of the smaller ones, not one of the larger fang
not worth
Oh,
ones.
we'll make earrings out of it.
What kind of tools do I have?
It's
I wanted,
potions
like,
ingredients.
a nice-sized tooth. I can put on a
I'll
necklace.
take it for potion stuff.
Nothing.
That would be fun.
So,
I follow the rabbit guy.
okay.
Cacophony, do you want to keep harvesting, or do you want to come and join us? Or
I'd like some scales first.
I'll help you then. We'll meet up with you down there, all right? What? What, DM? What?
Cacophony,
Should
as
I
you're
not do that?
Cacophony, as you're sizing up the carcass of the
Badger!
Jabberwock,
No!
you hear a voice that meets your mind. It is within your head. You know it's not audible, but it is speaking to you. It says, "Oh dear, that's a beautiful Jabberwock. I could help you harvest it if you like."
Celine's like, shoot, above her head. I don't hear it, I know, but I'm just gonna start doing that randomly.
I'm gonna look around like, this is a new voice I've never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
So the answer is yes. Very much so. I want that armor.
I think I'm good actually.
Okay.
I think
It
I'll go
was
down the
far
trapdoor.
different from the soothing voice of the Raven Queen, which you've been introduced to. This is
Yes.
a more harsh and kind of
Dearie.
invasive, though at the same time clearly powerful and able to, like, you immediately get the sense that this thing can do what it says it will do.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm feeling like I've had a lot of adventure for today. So
Yes. As you
Good move.
as you are on the precipice of what, 9 hit points or something?
10.
10.
Close enough.
So, are you seeking to harvest this creature's corpse in any way for anything specific? So, mechanically speaking, scales would typically be used for a medium or heavy armor. The leather would typically be used for a light or, primarily light armor. You can also harvest anything else that you like, the tail, or aspects of the organs, etc., that you think might have some value in alchemy or other arcane pursuits, or just something that the claws that you might think could make a weapon or something like that. You have the ability to be creative here to harvest this stuff, but it takes time, and every time you harvest something, the succeeding thing you seek to harvest becomes more difficult, because you're focusing on one aspect of the creature, and in so doing, potentially damaging other aspects of it.
Okay. And this one can regenerate, right?
You know that this creature, based off of what Hugo has shared, will come back to life within a indistinguishable amount of time and seek to slay the one who slew it.
Oh my god.
I'll slay it again!
All right, so I'm gonna
ready to action the
watch
rest of the campaign.
everyone go down the trapdoor.
I'm gonna stay up with you.
Yeah, I'm staying with you.
Okay.
The girls' night out! Oh my
Girls' night
gosh!
So I'm gonna see that there's,
I'll guidance you
Thanks
before
for
you start
for
harvesting.
staying with me.
Yeah,
Oh, I feel like I
absolutely.
should protect you. I mean, you're kind of a little squishy, and I'm really big and strong, and so I'll protect you, my little squishy.
And I can point out what would be useful for
thanks.
alchemy, if you would like to try and harvest that.
Yes. Let's do that.
Oh, I have an idea. What happens if we put the wing and we hold it up, and then I punch it, and we punch the scales off? Can I punch the wing, please?
The wing is more
Please?
leathery. The
Okay. Second shot. Okay, you hold up the body. We hold the body up, and then I punch the body, and the scales come off. Please.
I don't think it's quite like punching a tree so the leaves fall down, but I see where you're going with it. But typically you want to take, like, have you ever skinned a fish before, like a salmon or something?
Oh yeah, I have cousins that live in the ocean.
It's kind of like that, where you take the flat of the
Second
blade
cousins,
and you just run it
technically.
down.
Oh, what happens if we use its claws, and then we use the claws to take off the scales?
That's actually not a bad idea. Ray,
my
you want
brain.
I like that idea, and then we can take the claw
Sometimes I
and the
just
scales.
throw out so many ideas that one of them works.
I'd also like to try and take one its eyeballs. I feel like
Ew!
I feel like that would
Does
be
it
useful.
have any
eyeballs
eyeballs
have
left?
been destroyed by the
No!
Thunderfish.
I did punch its brain.
Can I, like,
specifically
scoop the
said
jelly?
You can try to go and
delicious.
find it in the.
This nebulous goo
The
on the
rocks
wall would be like
below.
that. I'm
perfect.
gonna pull out a couple of claws for Cacophony to try to scale the dragon with.
So you're trying to harvest the claws first.
Well,
Do you want
hold
the
on.
claws first or the scales first?
Mechanically, it's more difficult for the second one. I feel like the
Okay.
scales are more important. Sorry, that's meta, but like,
You
That's
can-
okay.
That's fine.
yeah, okay. I feel like it would be
Yeah,
more sense to try and get
the
the
scales-
scales.
I just wanted to destroy this thing so that if it kills me in the afterlife, I already got my pre-revenge.
Gray, I think this thing's going to be recovering from the emasculation you gave
You
it for a
could
long
certainly
time.
use one of the claws as a trophy. That would be as large as the incisor teeth. Yeah.
Okay, then when they're done with the scales, I want to.
Or even be really metal and like just cut a finger off with the claw still on it.
No, I want
Nasty.
just the claw.
That's nice.
I want to scale.
All right, I'm
Assuming
going to
they're a
help
little
you then.
shiny.
So you're going for one scale or
appeal.
like as many as you can get here?
I think as many. Well,
she
I
look
guess
like a
like I'd be
one-scale
happy
person?
with like. I'd be happy with 3. I'd live with 2.
Okay,
How big are the
you
scales?
based off of the size of the scales, you imagine that you'd probably need, well, depending on who the armor is for,
A purple goblin.
you'd need
Oh,
multiple of them
already.
Okay.
to make
So
a
way more than that.
You're a
a
sorcerer.
actual
Suck it.
set of armor. But a few scales would still have value in the marketplace.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking for.
So you're trying to get as many as
Just-
you can.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Okay, so
Your guidance.
is someone. So your guidance is someone assisting her in this.
Celine.
Celine is guidancing you.
But I'm
Yes.
also talking her through like surgically.
So
to
you're
making the best
seeking
cuts.
to you're seeking to give her advantage. So this is going to be a survival check to see how well you are able to remove the scales from the body of the Jabberwock. Go ahead and roll your survival with advantage, and then you can also add a d4 because you are guided by Celine.
As they're doing
Welcome to
that,
first year med school. All right,
gonna
snap
see-
on the rubber glove.
Ray
All right.
takes a protective walk around them, and you see flashes of purple circle around them. Like me and my ancestors are actively watching to see if anything's coming, and we're protecting them.
Roll a perception check.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Nope, that's alright. I got my number.
She bumped you to a crit. How funny would that be?
That's actually pretty close.
I got a 14.
14.
Mhm.
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
6.
You like that?
Sorry.
You are
Oh, yeah.
walking around the tower,
It's
and
murder.
you don't see anything in the sky about you beyond the roiling fire storm high up in the atmosphere of this confluence. You hear the crack of what you surmise is thunder off to the east, where the confluence of the elemental plane of air meets with the fire and earth, and is the air is the strongest. You kind of look and you see a bit of a storm raging. As you do your circle, you see kind of a sandstorm over the Cinder Wastes, more like an ash storm. You don't see any magma raining, thankfully, but nothing about the weather seems to be an immediate threat, nor do you see any creatures about.
You see Deborah kind of walking almost longer in flashes as she's talking to Ray and giving her some ideas of strategy and giving her some guidance of how they could have improved that fight, and some hints and tips and some strategies as they continue to walk.
So Celine, as Cacophony's focus is on this Jabberwock, you periodically glance up and you just see Ray, who is large. She's like 8 foot plus, and
Hitting a growth spurt.
she growing still? What? Like she's
I'm walking on my tiptoes.
yeah. But next to her is just the abdomen up of a massive storm giantess who has a tower shield strapped to her shoulder and walks almost like you can't see her legs, but she's clearly she waits for Ray to take several steps and then walks, and has a massive spear that she kind of goes along with. And you don't speak giant, do you?
No.
You hear them speaking in a language, and for once, Ray is doing far more listening than she is speaking, as this radiant majestic spear-wielding storm giant seems to be instructing Ray.
I'd like to take note of how she seems to be speaking to Ray in a way that she is listening so intently.
Roll insight.
20.
She's purple.
Wow. All right. Purple face paint. Here we go. Classist
I'm just
bastard.
teasing.
So a 20? You get the sense that Ray holds this figure and all of the rest who you see periodic flashes of with deep esteem and almost a reverence. Not that she is
Disrespectful of everyone else.
yeah, but that there's she clearly believes that they have knowledge and wisdom that she is all the more willing to receive.
Mm-hmm.
The specific words you don't know, but just from her body language and her the short statements that she makes, you get the sense that she's asking questions and then kind of receiving information.
Deborah's also like almost showing some movements where it's like she'll show like a quick, like you'll see a flash of either like a quick attack back or like a sweeping leg of how to like knock someone down, and you see like some movements along with the talking as well.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right.
So,
Look at
Cacophony,
Yes.
please roll a d20 for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
20.
You rolled a natural 20?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
First on
Oh,
the
you
night!
guys
Dude, you just take this thing like a naked mole rat.
Well,
just-
so depending on what you rolled on your survival check was which die you were going to roll on to see how many scales you successfully plucked.
no way.
So you rolled 14, which you need to get above a 12 to roll a d20. If you would have rolled above an 18, you would have rolled a d100.
Cool.
Minus 50. But you
what if
would.
you rolled a
No one has a
35?
d50, I guess. So you get
Minimum
20 scales off the
Awesome.
Jabberwock, which you believe would be enough to make up to a heavy suit of armor
Nice.
for anyone in your party. Hugo being the largest.
Oh.
You could also potentially make 2 suits of medium armor out of
Alright.
those scales.
Excellently done. Those were very good cuts.
However, in order
Thanks.
to more fully provide the resources and materials for the medium armor and even the heavy armor, you're going to need a bunch of the leather as well to kind of allow that to be the backing that the scales
That
are
makes
affixed to.
Do you know what we're doing right now? We're doing the training cutscene of smithing in Skyrim. How about you go make me a hide helmet? Leather appears in your inventory.
Or what's the first the big town again called?
Whiterun.
Whiterun, that's right, Whiterun.
Not bad. Could use some sharpening. Taking it over to the table over there. I have the whole thing memorized. All right.
You've only
Um,
played that once.
I think
twice.
I need some
Only-
leather
1
to
year.
make these scales worth it.
And so your attention moves from the main abdominal area of the back and body to the wings, the leathery, sinewy wings, and a bit of the underbelly where there weren't so much scales so much as the tough leather
Right.
hide. The DC now raises from the scales. And so you can... and by the way, that took several hours to get those scales. So it is now
Okay.
approximately 4 o'clock in the afternoon, having spent the majority of this day going through the tower. You did take a short rest 2 times, I believe, through the tower. Once in the basement and once in the second floor. So while there is no day-night cycle with waning light, I mean, there is, as you know, the nightfall concordance will bring the night. It is getting up later in the day as you now begin to work on the leather. And there is blood just splattered everywhere, just from the removal of the scales. Cacophony, who is black in her feathers and a very, very like dark blue and black hooded robe that she wears, now has scarlet crimson blood just splotched everywhere. Celine, it's actually a look that makes you proud, makes you feel right at home from the...
It's like in the middle of a 16-hour surgery.
That's
I'm ready
right.
for
The
it.
arena battles that you helped to be a field medic for so long, in the creatures that would be slaughtered there, you almost lose track of the time as you two are both going to town on this.
We're talking about, like, I'm teaching her about the alchemical
As-
applications, everything. I'm getting into, like, organic chemistry with you. I don't know if you even know what's coming out of my mouth, but it's like,
I'm following.
yes,
I've done
yes,
a lot
you
of reading
are.
and following.
Woo! My apprentice.
So, Pink Dragon, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So as the Jabberwock is being sliced and diced, I need you to roll another survival check to now try to get the leather.
Is she still
All right.
advantaged?
I was gonna
Help
ask.
her?
You would be helping her
guidance.
again, and you can guidance her again, yep, as you move to task 2.
So with guidance, by
Nice.
the way, you do roll a d4 as well on top.
20.
And is that including the survival?
Yep.
20 total?
Yeah.
Okay. Please roll another d20.
14.
You get 14 pounds of Jabberwock leather, which
Awesome.
Nice.
would be enough to do one to help resource one set of heavy armor or 2 sets of medium armor. So
Okay.
you've matched what you
We
need.
can buy these from
When
her.
she switched over to the leather, you see Sammy almost tap Deborah's shoulder and like kick her out, and then he starts. You see Ray all of a sudden like drop to the ground and start doing push-ups, and then doing like some burpees, and he has her going like working out
Burpees.
like a really hard circuit for a little bit, and then you see her almost like fake hitting something, and like you see an extra push from Sammy. He like shows it, like repositions her hips and like really like adds some extra oomph to her swings as she works on
Please
that for a couple of hours.
Roll a d20 for me.
Man. 6.
6, and what is your athletics modifier? I should just
13.
said roll athletics. So it's 6 plus 13, so it puts you at 19. All right, that's good enough because your athletics is
Ridiculous.
stupid high. That is good enough to be able to roll a
I don't know what I'm rolling for.
intelligence check to see how well you are picking this up. You can roll that intelligence check with advantage. That's what the athletics was to do. So your kinesthetic sense is kicking in as you are kind of tapping into the muscle memory that is being taught to you by
21. I rolled a
Sammy.
19.
19 with advantage. You are able.
Oh, I rolled a 19 and an 18, so they're
Wow,
both
that's
pretty
really good.
Yeah.
So you get a +1 to your fighter class as you are continuing to train and work towards the next level of fighter.
Ray's like drenched in sweat because she just also tore down a dragon, but she's keeping up with it, and you see almost like her eyes wide, and she starts breathing like, oh man.
I just like the thought that the girls are like elbow deep in blood and gore, and the boys are downstairs like having tea with the rabbit.
We're gonna get to the boys in a second.
You're
I
damn
don't know
right.
how to pronounce this name. Kojiketsumarai.
Yep, just say
So-
Koji.
Koji. Koji.
Koji Ketsumaru.
Koji, thank you for the gifted subs. Really appreciate that.
Cool.
You are amazing. Thank you. So, is there anything else you ladies wish to do or discuss amongst yourselves as you have now taken all the scales and the lever that you can get from the Jabberwock, You could try to keep harvesting more stuff. It gets, again, increasingly more difficult.
Just for fun, I'd like to...
It is, by the way, it's now, like, you've been up here for about 8 hours.
Holy cow.
As you've been
long
working
surgery.
at harvesting this.
Y'all are tempting fate. That thing can come back any minute.
Yeah, I think
We'll just
I'm
call it-
good.
Can I just try before... Like, I don't know how long it would take. If it would take 8 hours, I wouldn't do it. But knowing that dragon knuckle bones are used in, like, divination all the time, and that can get, like, very expensive,
Mm-hmm.
is it possible to try and harvest those?
So you're trying to harvest the essentially the fingers, the claws.
Give me, as she's doing push-up, give me a talon! Sammy!
She's, like, spinning her knife like
And you
Kronk,
see her,
like,
him,
order
like, keep
coming up.
pointing to the ground as she jumps up and then does a big overhead smash. The ground, like, rumbles a little bit and drops down again.
If I get the sense that that could be done not in 4 hours, I would do that. If I felt like that would take a long time, I would not do it. Or
Okay.
I'd just sever the hand and put it in the bag.
All right. So Ray, like PSK in the gym, busting out new PRs. You do your calisthenics and you are kind of going through your post-workout cooldown at this point as you ask for the claw. So please, Cacophony, one final survival check.
I want a
Rolled
talon.
with advantage as Celine
And guys,
continues
D4.
to
Alrighty.
assist you.
Ooh.
15.
15.
Oh, you made me think she
You
like,
are
failed.
exhausted. And you've done
believe
really
it.
well, and your hands at this point are almost shaking with the strain of stripping the scales and the leather from this Jabberwock. And now when you get to the more delicate kind of hands and the knuckles in particular, you kind of go for these knuckles to almost slice through the bone and
There we go, steady.
your hand is just unable, as
Oh.
several of them have already been destroyed in the combat. There was only about 3 kind of knuckles, quote unquote, that are still intact, and you are only able, with a 15, you're only able to harvest one of them to the specifications that Celine describes for the use of divination, the kind of the throwing of bones, so to speak. You are able on that same finger to find several of the claws are broken and shattered through all this process. You haven't really you've been focusing on the scales and leather. Part of that, you've been just like tossing stuff and things got smashed or dulled or broken off. You are able to secure one talon for Ray. And
That
as
was
you
excellent. Well
as you
done.
finish with this
Thanks.
carcass, Ray and Celine and Cacophony, with your combined strength, you take it and you just kind of throw it over the side.
Oh, it's all Ray. We're not even helping, but we think we are.
Arms don't work!
Nothing is happening.
Pink Dragon, thank you for the gifted subs as well. That's amazing. So appreciate the subs there, and yeah, thank you so much.
Let's go down and see what they've been up to.
What do you think they've been doing all this time? Do you think they've been having tea
Hopefully
and
making
gossiping?
dinner. I'm really hungry.
Oh, I don't know. So, Sheen told me once he has this recipe for a soup that his mom used to make for him. And he's
Ooh.
always told me that he would make it, and he never has.
What kind of soup was
I
it?
would love some soup.
I know.
That sounds so good right now.
Well, he would
Yeah.
he would start stuttering halfway through and start looking at the ground and getting nervous. So we never got to hear the full recipe of it, but one of these days, we're going to make him make it for us.
Okay.
And the girls are just going to relax.
Ray's gonna stomp on the ground 3 times like Gruyere did.
The hatch has remained open.
Yeah, oh, I know. She stomps anyways.
Very good. She stomps and waits expectantly. Nothing happens, and you just kind of go down the hatch.
I'm gonna prestidigitate myself before I go down, just because I'm like dripping.
Yeah.
And I probably
Celine's
smell.
walking. She doesn't even
and-
notice she's covered in it. So if you prestidigitate me, that's great. But if not, I wouldn't know.
All right, so you get yourself all cleaned up.
You did
Yeah.
Jabberwock. The new season perfume.
Can you get me? My hair is
Confuse your
all
love
messy.
interest.
Yeah. Okay. So then I do. Both
Perfect.
of them. All right.
You're a hairdresser, a harvester, a thief. You're like whatever it calls for. I love it.
All right. So Cacophony gets all of you to an acceptable smell and look, and you make your way down. Meanwhile, boys, having traveled down to the study with Greer,
She
who
died.
immediately begins looking around and examining. He first goes over to the 2 books that were open, the Invocation of Dreams and the Invocation of Waking, and he closes them both. I won't need those anymore. As he just kind of takes them and puts them on a shelf in a bit of a huff. And he looks around. What did they do? Where are all of my supplies? I have to rebuild all of this. As he's just kind of inspecting everything around here, he looks at the mirror. Says, He goes up to it, and he... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Dragon
Holy
giveaways.
smokes.
Dang!
Okay. Pink Dragon PSK. Awesome. I believe that is the 40 subs that we needed for
That's awesome.
the Spider Dragon, which I never made rotate.
Oops.
Gosh darn it.
Oh,
You know what's
what a
awesome?
Fail DM.
You know what's awesome?
I will
Zim,
not. I will.
Zim and Millsman aren't winning right now.
Oh, that's true. There's a
Oh,
new
both of them,
contestant.
yeah.
Pink Dragon, you have taken out the
Dragon taking
leaderboard
out
for
the
the
leaderboard.
first time.
Wow.
Wow.
You don't know this, Pink Dragon, but there's a gifted sub war that's happening between one of our players and one of our viewers, and it's intense every week. And you just took them out in one blow.
Actually, I'm sad he's not here because he would probably be
I know,
right?
Yes. We lost.
giving
his
away
job.
another dragon. I see.
The new rotating doobly-doo that we got
Oh yeah, switch it over.
has a remote control.
No way!
Oh,
Does it have a built-in laser show?
I was wondering if it had lights underneath.
That's what I
I
was
can make
saying.
it go left and right, and I can make it like rotate a little bit and then stop, and then rotate a little bit more and stop. I don't know.
Oh,
how
just for the angles.
Oh, so you could do like 2 minis on one side and then
Dash.
rotate to the mini and then it stops.
yeah,
and
you can like
rotate to the other
program it.
mini
It's
and then-
way too complicated for me.
Is
I'm
there a
just
button
gonna
that
have
has
it
like
go
a
left
choir
and
of
right.
angels
I
start
can
singing?
change the speeds though. It can be like faster.
Do like the whirling
rotate.
dervish.
Yep. I don't know. It's
When we're in combat
That's
doing
cool.
poorly, you
This
should
is
have it
how
spin
we
super
spend
fast.
the money that you guys cheer on remote control spinny things for the giveaways.
It literally all goes back into this. So
Yes, we put it all back into the stream. So thank you so much for the gifted subs. And we're going to give away that Spider Dragon tonight. So stick around and don't go anywhere until we give that away. We're also going to give away the 2 sets of dice. Heck, why don't we give away one of the dice right now?
all right.
Do it.
So if you would like to have a chance at winning one of those sets of dice, and the winner, first winner, chicken dinner.
I was gonna say
Just, you can choose which of the 2 you want. So there is a very cool kind of translucent blue glitter set.
Can I win?
Molly loves the glitter. And there is also a really cool kind of marbleized, kind of grayish green
Cool.
as well. And if you would like your chance to win those dice within the continental U.S., if someone from outside of the U.S. wins, we will get you a gift card instead. So I think Shove Hunter has won before, and he's over in Britain, I believe. And we got him a gift card to DM's Guild, which was great. So if someone wins who we can't ship to, you can still win. You'll just get something different.
He asks, what does the spider dragon look like? Well, imagine your worst fears
It's right there.
and then give it hit points.
Yeah.
is what it looks like.
So if you see it rotating there, the way that it's a McFarlane dragon, they have it kind of hanging from a tree type of a thing, and its back legs are all kind of wound up around the tree with the tail, and its massive jaw, spider jaw with the dragon scales up its back. It's kind of a mix between a dragon and a spider, which you see rotating there. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So, for your chance to win whichever dice set of those 2 dice you like, type into the chat right now, !
I got it.
Scales. SCALES! ! Scales for your chance to win whichever of those sets of dice you prefer. All right. And again, thank you to our amazing community. We love you guys. We really appreciate the way you engage with us and affect the story and support the stream. So thank you for all of those new subs. Hugo and Helgi and Hashin followed Greer down. Greer immediately got to tidying up. He saw the mirror after kind of looking at a couple of things. He walks over to it and he says, Rumpelschnitz! And it flashes with light. You kind of avert your eyes, and as you turn back, it is now affixed to the wall. It is no longer just floating in the center of the room. And there is a picture of the interior of Mart's hut outside. And it is empty. It's just the living room area. As Greer kind of checks, and he just kind of says aloud, more to himself than to anyone else, "She must be tending the bunnies." As he turns back around and regards the 3 of you with...
What was it, Rumpelschnitz?
Rumpelschnitz, yeah. Regards the 3 of you with a bit of a smile, and it's clear that he is just so glad to be back in his body. He's just very thankful.
I'd say that you took some unnecessary risks and have not solved your problem yet, right?
Yes, that's correct. Laura has eluded my grasp. I believe she's in the dark, but trapped or gone, or I don't know. I couldn't retrieve her.
And so I can presume that you will again attempt things that may not be so safe.
I will... And you see his kind of hyperactive demeanor relaxes a little bit. I will admit I was, in my grief, hasty, reckless to trust. After decades of reflection, I can assure you, I will not be so again. Besides, in my times of meditation and disembodied journeying around the wastes, I've learned a thing or two, met a person or two who I think could help me and assist me in perhaps retrieving her. But one good favor deserves another, and so the writ, let me get to it. It'll take me some time to prepare it exactly so for the eyes of the guard of the city of brass. They are exacting and will want to make sure it is as required from the Sultan. And he kind of scampers into a corner, and
The thought of him forging it is just so funny.
He kind of throws some papers about. This is the shelf that had all the different materials and like all the different household things. As he's raffling through, he's like, "There's many things missing here. Who would take a candle and a bit of ink and where's my utensils and my plates? And where's my collection of skulls? I don't understand. All of these things were meaningless and just had meaning to me. Why would anyone take them? Somewhere above, Cacophony just laughs to herself.
Covered in blood.
All his
Covered in
elbow
the
deep in a
ingredients.
dragon.
That's right.
You sneeze.
And
Eventually, he fishes out whatever he was looking for,
1, 2,
and
3, 4, 5.
there is this elaborate kind of piece of paper with what looked to be kind of a seal and a stamp kind of dangling from it, and it looks blank, as if it was being kept just for such an occasion. And he comes to you and kind of holds it triumphantly. Ah, as you can see, I found what we were looking for, and I have one left. And he doesn't expect a response.
Goodness.
He just goes over to his seat where the books previously were, and he sits and he takes out his inks, which he begins to just kind of, in a very meticulous and slow script, very beautiful in design, kind of clearly has a measured hand for calligraphy, begins to write out the writ of passage to the city of Brass. After about an hour of this, and it's very slow and meticulous, he kind of stops. He says, "So, who am I giving permission to? What is the name of your group?"
The boys are gonna decide it without the
boys.
girls there.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Actually, just the two of us are going to decide.
Yeah, we never really
She's
discussed
asleep
very
already.
much what we were going to call ourselves.
I think we should call ourselves the LeeHeightonFords.com.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
In case any of you need a vehicle.
That's right. If anyone needs a vehicle, particularly a Ford, we can order that for you at LeeHeightonFord.com. Adam and Steve over there will hook you up.
Commercial over.
Is
Jake-
Jake, paid
All right.
advertisement.
Jake is more than happy to be your
Today's
financial
sponsor
advisor.
of this
Yes.
episode is brought to you by...
Meanwhile, the absent Jake will be your financial advisor to tell you if you can afford such vehicles.
Car.
While he gifts 50 subs.
Are we all planning on staying together still?
Well, I believe what that, that person, we met a little while ago with the, on that little island floaty thing that we were on. He told us that the only way we were going to get ahead in this world is if we stayed together. No?
Well, I don't seem to recall ever being in that location, but perhaps Purple was at some point.
Oh, that's true. You change all the time. It's kind of hard to figure out who the heck you are and
Maybe
who you are now and who you were then, and I don't know. I get lost in all those things.
Maybe you should name the group then.
So I'm the last person that wants to name the group because
The two people who don't want to be in the group have to name the group. Do we have to?
Hugo's Heroes?
Hugo's Heroes. It is then.
Oh my no!
Greer looks at you and he says, "Are you sure that's what all of you want to go by? I can wait for the rest. The jibber jabbering with the Jabberwock. See what I did there?
Force it.
Force it. That'd be funny.
Do it. Be the shaper you are.
What if he's like, honestly, I could
Huh.
care less, and he's like, honestly, I could care lesser as it
The
is.
two people who
Hugo's
don't
Heroes has a nice ring to it, don't you say?
I think that names are important.
Someone
Ray
once told me,
cringes.
"What's a name? Names aren't important,
Or Soul, I should say.
Helgies
The
are
hammer.
only restraint
think-
in this situation.
Helgi and Hugo's Heroes.
We could call ourselves the Triple H."
That's very true.
Hashim! Hugo and Helgi! 4-H it is!
4-H. That's
The
right.
4-H
The 4-H club.
Hashim's down here.
I think that once
Purple. Sadiq.
Hashin stops trying to keep his ear to the floor door to try and hear what
his habibi. Or
His
whatever,
habibi is
yeah.
saying about their first kiss.
Poor man.
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
he
what
was
are you talking about?
he was way more into that than she
You
was.
don't
Did
talk
you
about
notice?
my Habibi like that. She clearly enjoyed.
I don't
our
know.
embrace.
That little kiss over there was more like one that a little sister gives to her big brother. I mean, it was the quickest peck I've ever seen in my life.
Kiss my brother like that.
Disgusting.
That is not what the
I
character art
think
depicts.
He is Southern.
Listen, Sadiq.
Traditions may be different where you're from.
Well, I was trying to convey a point. Maybe I failed at that point.
Maybe
Sweet
Hugo's Heroes has
home
a second
Alabama.
meaning. Weirdo. Well,
Well, it doesn't sound like you have consensus. Perhaps we'll give it some time. I can work on the rest and we'll come back. So he continues forth in the drafting of the writ. Is there anything that you two would like to do in the 8 or so hours of time that
Women are
you
doing
have
surgery.
Hater.
while the
Yes.
surgery, the cadaver surgery is going on?
100%. Helgi needs to learn. As he was perusing through this tower, he saw references to the weave further and further, and he is not unfamiliar with the weave, and so he would like to look into and read upon, if the rabbit man will let him, any texts that involve connecting to it.
And Hugo sees you looking for books on magic. And Hugo, being a wizard yourself, though more of a pragmatic wizard, not one given necessarily to the depths of study and the mysteries of the universe or the planar structures that were encountered in the research here, you do know a thing or two about magic. And therefore, Hugo, you can assist if you care to, unless you were doing something for yourself.
We got 8 hours.
8 hours.
I can assist him for like 5 hours.
Okay. So,
Are so kind.
so Helgi, go ahead and roll a investigation check first to. Greer is unable. He says, "Oh, well, I've got books around. Go find one. Find one on one of Mordenkainen's tomes. Perhaps you can find one from." And he names a couple different arcanists of the different planes and different studies. There's a name from a good one from Keen Whistler on divination, and he names a couple others. As he names them.
Get it for
24.
24. You are able to find kind of a book of arcane, the book of general arcane relativity.
General relativity. Got it.
And it is all about the interplay of the weave, the mystical, with the physical,
Okay.
and how science and magic interact. And it's by an artificer, a gnomish artificer, not Knick-Knack.
He's already published a volume.
Though you get
While
the
he was
sense that this
gone.
would have been the type of book that is would have been right up Knick-Knack's alley.
Aw, we miss you, Austin.
And while the
Why don't we call ourselves
the latter
Knick-Knack
chapters get into the mechanical workings of intertwining the physical with the mystical, you're more interested in the earlier chapters, which do full treatments on just the weave.
Cool.
And just the science and the of kind of robotics and automatons and physical machinations that can be achieved through purely natural substances and physics, etc. And then it starts getting into how to meld the two together, which you focus primarily on the first. So now I need you to roll a general intelligence check to see how well you absorb that information.
Intelligence check.
You're reading
21.
it upside down.
Okay. In Midgard, the way that magic worked was through tapping into the ley lines that are naturally formed within that material plane. Placed there by the gods, and in particularly empowered by Jormungandr. You were able to tap into certain aspects of those ley lines to fuel your elemental magic.
Mm-hmm.
Here, the weave is different. It does not have such nuance as the ley lines within Midgard. It is far more open and inviting. All manner of magic can be tapped into with an arcane knowledge and sensitivity. Some more through study, some more through natural inclination, as you imagine Celine with her sorcery utilizes, as opposed to Hugo and his arcane knowledge. Sort of a head versus heart mentality to the approach to the weave. Either, however, produce similar results. And you are used to using more of your heart to tap into the ley lines, but it makes more intuitive sense as you study to understand the knowledge of the weave and how it intertwines everything about you, almost like a mystical force. And so your ability to tap into your wizard subclass, your wizard minor, has increased by 1, which I believe puts you to 5 points. Is that correct?
I don't think so.
Oh, what are you at?
4?
4. All right. You're
falling behind a bit.
You feel like you're really close to a breakthrough.
I'll try again.
And yet a little bit more study perhaps will be worth your time in allowing you to expand your knowledge. And in fact, there's a couple of spells referenced in this book, some basic spells that you think might be helpful. There's a spell referred to as a shield spell, which you've seen Hugo utilize, and in fact that he has referenced, and that you think you might have the skill to not only learn that, but utilize it yourself as you would kind of tap into that. So throughout these hours, you are not only learning about the weave and enhancing your ability with it, but you can choose one first-level spell from Hugo's spell book, and you can learn that as Greer provides you the magical die to do so. So as the ladies are finishing up, Helgi continues his studies. For the other 3 hours, Hugo, what were you going to be doing?
Going to take the spell scroll I have and write it in my book.
Okay, so you take
Dispel magic.
the spell of the Dispel Magic Scroll, which is a level 3 spell.
Right, it's 3 hours then for that?
And it's 3 hours of time.
Nice maths.
And I believe that is 300 gold worth of supplies,
Yep.
which
I had 4 levels.
you had 4 levels. So for the sake of, we simplified it rather than doing with gold, it was levels of ink. So you have 1 level of ink left that you found. Because at this point, you guys feel like you would be stealing directly from Greer with him now alive and back in the tower.
He owes it to us.
You got to get over that feeling.
Mills, thank you for the gifted subs. I gotta let you know, Pink Dragon is already at 36 and crushing it. So, yeah, thank you again, Pink Dragon, and PSK, and Koji for all of those gifted subs. Really appreciate you guys. Mills, you got some work to do. Hashin,
Sorry.
there's about 8 hours
Okay.
that have been ongoing as the ladies have been slicing and dicing the carcass of the Jabberwock, securing scales and leather that can now provide ample supply for several types of armor. Greer is hard at work in putting together a writ of passage for your group and has asked for you to supply him with a name. Hugo and Helgi talked about a name and thought that Hugo's Heroes was probably the right name. The ladies have not been brought in on this conversation. Hashin, what have you been doing? You talked very, very briefly, kind of defended your kiss with Hugo a little bit, telling him that it was the real deal. And he questioned that. I believe his words were...
I said it was like, when a sister gives her, brother a kiss. It's pretty pathetic, but...
Oh, you are from the south, though, so that makes sense. I get it. Yeah.
And then I realized I took my own foot and stuck it in my mouth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How's that toe jam taste, huh?
Better than that tongue that you had.
Hey.
Which one?
Hi-oh.
To be clear, there was no... I would say there was no tongue.
You don't know. Roll for perception.
Don't make an ass out of you and me.
I like that.
All that matters is what people are willing to believe.
Listen,
All I'm saying is I
the
tasted
DM
Dimitri.
never assumes, damn it.
I tasted Dimitri. I kissed Dimitri too. He probably felt it wherever he was. He was like, "Oh."
That's right. That's right. So Hashin, after that bit of an exchange with Hugo and Helgi went to study some arcane texts.
Are we still on the top of the tower?
You three went down into the study where Greer put his mirror back on the wall with the utterance of the word Ruppelschnitz and was able to peer through at Mart, who at some point through this 8 hours did come through and excitedly waved hi to Greer and then but was told not to come into the tower because there are still 3 sleeping Fomorian in the basement.
True.
So she is remaining in her cabin outside, though excited to see Greer back in his bodily form. Hashin, what are you occupying your 8 hours with?
Is there anything in this study that would help me get that +1 to Ranger?
You think, having thoroughly gone through this chamber and most of the tower is primarily geared towards arcane study, and there's nothing here kind of intrinsically lending itself towards growing in your ranger skills, absent going back to the top of the tower and maybe trying to do something creative up there with the surrounding region.
So no.
I'm giving you a chance to be creative if you want to try to do something from up there.
Hashin, as I recall, when the Jabberwock fell from the sky, pieces and parts were smashed by our good friend Ray, and they hit the ground. If you were able to use an arrow attached to a rope to maybe obtain some of those pieces from down there, that would really hone your skills I've been seeing you working
Well,
at
you know.
recently.
So you're talking about ye old archer fishing.
Yes, a ranger skill of great renown where I'm from.
You don't say, huh?
The floating sky island.
Yes.
Yes.
Who would you say?
Ranger
It makes sense. Yeah, no, I get it, because, if you jump off, you die, so you got to, pick things off from a distance. rope it up.
Seagulls are our main targets.
Oh, yeah?
Down below.
Those
yes.
are like rats with wings. Yeah.
But never hit a pigeon.
No?
Glorious bastards they are.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what Darlene said.
So,
Mince me.
It's fate.
is there a window that I think I
He's
could
a
shoot?
fae.
I could tie a rope to my spectral arrow and fire off.
Dude, if it puts holes in people, it can totally hold a rope. He said be creative.
If you
I'm
can
trying.
dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I'm trying to get points in Ranger now
First of
too.
all, you only have rope that goes about 50 feet.
That's all I need.
Do you playing the claw
Um,
machine out the window right now?
Yes, precisely.
You could go out to the second floor
The Rangers.
where the astral projector is,
Mm-hmm.
and you could try to shoot from there. with your spectral arrows.
Do I think I could reach some rabbits?
Roll for a
They
DM.
are
Is there an evil
they
ranger
are
class?
several hundred feet
He has a
away.
warlock.
You are a sharpshooter,
Yeah, I am.
so
Hex,
you
But I only
think-
have 50 feet of
you
rope.
only have 50 feet of rope.
So I'd just be killing rabbits.
You'd just be killing
I'm
rabbits.
in. No.
Warlocks are just evil.
Mart's like death from the sky. I didn't see it coming.
I think I would. So they're just copying spellbook stuff like nerds.
They're doing nerd stuff.
Okay.
Why weren't you at ranger
learning
practice?
about your world. That is all.
Yep. So nerds. What are the women doing?
They're skinning a jabberwock, and Ray is doing calisthenics and katas and being instructed in the ways of the warrior by her ancestors.
I think I would go to the room where I saw Dimitri. Forgot his name.
Ooh, going back for seconds.
And I think I would sit in that seat and I would ruminate on the information that I learned on my father and think through what it means that he was, I believe you said he was part of the Unseelie Court.
Mm-hmm.
And just start kind of like Alan from The Hangover when he's doing the math equations, like that meme, or Charlie Day putting like
All the strings.
I think I would start thinking through what that means for me and if I will ever see Dimitri again to get more information. And I'd also be thinking through the kiss with Habibi to see if whose true love it was.
Okay.
And
Roll
a name for the writ too.
roll an insight check.
Insight.
Come on, baby.
Cock. 10.
As you
I have an advantage, I believe. I do. I'm going to use
one left.
I have
How
two,
many? You have two.
left.
So you have one left now.
Yeah.
How many advantages do the rest of you guys have?
Ooh.
0.
Okay. Hugo,
Three.
you have 3.
Oh, I have to check. I'm
I
sorry.
have 2.
Ray's got 2.
7.
Cacophony still has 7.
Damn.
2.
You used 1 for your
And died.
skinning.
Yeah.
I used
Oh no, you
mine.
had
No,
you
I
got
didn't.
advantage
Every
from
time.
Celine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gosh darn it.
I just help people. That's what
You
I do.
It's what you do. It's what clerics do. That's the cleric class.
It's who I was as Marishka on the inside. I helped
Get the hell
everyone
out of here.
to the
Inside of,
afterlife.
inside of what? Her ingrown toenail?
I helped everyone to the next stage of life.
You did help everyone along. You moved them along.
I was like, oh, you're
21.
going slow there,
21.
pal.
Beyond the
As you
fourth wall,
think on
maybe.
these things, it makes a lot of sense that your dad would have been a member of the Unseelie Court, having been a drow. You always knew that he must have been a drow because
I'm a drow.
you're half drow.
Yeah.
Mr. Denial.
So, being connected with the Unseelie Court, the connotation of the court, however, is one that is not necessarily positive, though it's also not intrinsically negative. So this doesn't alarm you, but it's certainly something that would cause you to question some of his motives. However, you were told rather sincerely and convincingly that he loved your mother and he loved you and he sacrificed himself for you. And it's to that thought that you find yourself drifting asleep in that chair.
Okay.
Ooh.
And as if calling to your own mind the dreams that you've always had, you begin to go through the same familiar dream. The shadow accompanying your mother. The inability to reach them. Although, as you approach, the two figures embrace. There is a significant difference, however.
This is new.
The shadow coalesces and does not remain shadow. It takes on a corporeal form. Long, white hair held together in a kind of a loose ponytail. A bit of a high-backed neck and a well-trimmed kind of like waistcoat, black, with black pants and well-shined shoes, very charcoal-colored skin that you see on the hands that embrace your mother. As their lips meet, your mind flashes to Habibi. And it's the first time that you can remember something else capturing your attention in the midst of this dream. But the specter of your father draws your attention back very quickly. You take a step closer and closer. And at this point, this is usually when the shadows around them would appear and strike them down. Or your father's shadow would disappear, and then your mother fall down into your arms, and then she would disappear as well. After you would fight back those shadows, the shadows do not appear. You proceed, and your father and mother end their embrace, and your father turns to you. And it's as if you could see his face, but you can't. The features are both blurred and also, at the same time, obscured. Yet there. You know that there's a nose there, but you don't see it. You know there are eyes there, but you don't see them. You can see the color of the face, but it is gone. You can tell that it's smiling, but you can't. It's... And all you hear is a voice. My son.
Baba?
Be my. Yes.
Whoa.
My son. You are so close. No?
We.
No. Yes. You are. Keep pushing.
Okay, Baba. Okay.
At that, his form fades, and your mother is looking at you as well, smiling.
Umi.
Sheen, you're doing well.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Umi. I love you.
I love you. And I like her.
Oh, I mean, you know, do you think she likes me?
She smiles at you as the smile fades, and then her eyes turn up in her head, and she falls back into your arms
Oh, damn it. Here we go.
as the yellow-eyed shadows emerge around you. And the bow apparates into your hand. It feels different.
Okay.
It feels stronger. It feels like the badassery of destroying that Jabberwock unlocked something within it.
Nice.
You have now acquired the power of a +1 bow
Ooh.
that can absorb features of other bows.
Ooh. Okay. I guess I just customize that.
You just add a +1 bow to your sheet, and then we'll, as you add features, we'll
Okay. Yep.
Cool.
Sweet. So I start fighting off the shadow demons. And
Please describe how you
Okay.
deal. This is your ranger chance.
Oh. Okay. Oh boy.
Be creative. Make me like it.
I want to know what is the topography around me. I
As
feel like I can get some height.
as per usual, you are kind of in the crest of a hill or a dune within the oasis. So there is desert about you, but you are already kind of crested on the top of this dune near the oasis. There are some palm trees in the background where your the Al Sadiq clan kind of has their home, and there you are.
How far are they from me?
It would be difficult. You would have to go through the ring of shadows to
No,
get.
I meant.
Oh,
bad
they're
guys.
they're about 30 feet and closing as per usual.
Okay. So, well, I did not expect that. I'm gonna start. You said there's an oasis, right?
There is, yes.
I'm gonna start shooting and backing up towards the oasis, which has the palm trees. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. As the shadow demons would get closer to me, assuming there's still sand around,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try to. This won't work with shadow demons, but well, it might in the dream. Who knows? Classic, like action hero, blood sport. Pick up sand, throw it in their eyes.
Yes. Yes.
You kick sand up in the classic Jean-Claude Van Damme style,
Naturally.
and it passes through the shadows. Their yellow eyes blazing, and then you think to you say out loud, kind of, ha, fooled you, it's just to distract you, as you kind of shoot behind your back through.
Well, what I wanted to do
Through
with
the
that,
one.
what I wanted to do with that is kick it so that it goes up, put an illusion of myself still standing there and getting into a different position.
Sure.
So that
Roll a survival check to see how effective you are in your maneuver.
How about performance?
Survival.
Okay. Advantage.
Okay, this is your last one.
12. Not high enough.
Not high enough. So you kick it up and you kind of move and you cast the minor illusion, and one of the shadows bites that had most of the sand kicked in its direction, but the one behind you, it's not so much that it was ineffective to the one that you targeted, but they're all around you 360. And you turn and whirl to face. You put an arrow through the chest of one, but it didn't seem to be affected by the three that you were seeking to affect. Only one of them was affected by the sand display.
Got it.
You whirl again, and you kind of get down on a knee, take out two more as the other 6 begin to press in towards you. Do you seek to do anything else?
I'm going to try to banish one of them.
Okay.
Again, I'm assuming in this dream that spell slots don't matter.
Yeah, you have your... Go ahead and you cast your banishment as you kind of hold out your hand, and your ring flashes purple as there's a tear within the scape of your dream, and it looks almost as if a spectral hand emerges and grasps around the shadow and rips it out of your dream. It is no more.
And then there's always in the dream the one that gets me.
Mm-hmm.
It's always that last one. In this one, I want to look him dead in the eyes, and I want to use Rayolitheme's Psychic Lance on it.
This is a ranger spell, or not?
It's a warlock spell.
It is a warlock spell?
I don't have any ranger
Oh, yeah, that's right. You get
spells.
those at level 2.
Correct. I need to get there.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm doing this while climbing a tree.
And he's thinking
Oh,
of
this
their
is a
names.
dogwood.
Yeah. Yeah.
A dogwood palm.
Before that, I knock into the tree, a coconut falls.
Jeez.
I pick it up, throw it at one, and then I psychic lance the one that always gets me.
And so you kind of concentrate, and your psychic focus pierces through, and for the sake of the narrative, it impacts where the head or mind of this shadow creature would be, and it kind of convulses for a moment before it just winks out of existence. The last one comes up and claws across your back as it usually would, and whispers into your ear, "Voidrill's bow will be ours."
And at that, I turn around and stab him, having heard that.
And you now know why the bow is more powerful.
It has a proper name.
It
attached
has
to
a proper name.
And it's a +1.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Do I wake up, or am I left there?
Are you screaming the name Voidrill as you wake up?
You awake.
Uh-huh.
It is about 8 hours later. You have the effects of a long rest.
Sweet.
And you rejoin the party as now the ladies and the gentlemen all convene as Greer looks at you all.
What is your name?
Oh, I have a good name. All right, ready? Here's our team name. It's Ray Esmeralda Yawin, but you can just call me Ray. Follower, Order of Kazette, Order of Lux, follower of Anam, forced follower of Kinchusi, or what's her name?
Kikanuti.
Kinchusi. Who gave me accidentally a tattoo that I have to hide from my dad. Destroyer of the storm, gonna be leader of our clan. That's our name.
It's a long name.
Oh, is it too long?
Oh, I'm not there. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah, we're all
We're all
together.
together.
That's a good name, right?
It's a great name, but it's long.
Oh.
Little bit of
How
a
did you
mouthful.
defeat the Jabberwock?
Oh, Destroyer of the Jabberwock. You could have added that title.
I mean, we blasted the shit out of them.
It's true.
We could be called the Smiters.
How did you defeat or save Kikanuti?
Dumb luck. No skill involved. We really should have
Do
died.
you know
I don't know if
Kikanuti?
we're
She just
going
mentioned
by
that
that.
she saved her.
Do you know of her?
It's true, we were saviors. Saviors.
She's a
Kinganuti.
lesser deity.
Lesser? Why do I have a tattoo of her then? I don't want a lesser. Ew, I wish I could scrump this thing off.
No, that tattoo is a boon.
Eh.
It's a gift.
Forced follower of Kinganuti. Real follower of Anam. The only god. And the strongest one, too.
Roll a religion check.
It's like, oh my god, I joined a cult.
5.
5.
Well, I don't know what my plus is. Probably
okay.
+1.
You hear a voice. "That's fine, my child." As your tattoo fades and you no longer have
Wait, really?
your ability.
Oh no! Wait, I was just joking!
Nope, gone.
Talk shit.
Whoa!
Real world consequences.
Oh no.
Technically it was a 7. I have a +2 religion.
Doesn't matter.
Oh no.
Not high enough after that.
God
Do I
rejected.
sense that?
You all still have your boons,
This is
including your major boon, Celine.
this is the Fury one.
But you no
So is
longer
this
have
Fury
just
of
the
the
Fury, or is
You
this
know-
my fighter?
you no longer have Fury of the Small.
Okay. I thought I
Oh.
lost my fighter,
That's
and I
next.
was really sad.
No,
Okay.
no. The fighter is
I thought that was what the boon was.
no the boon that you all received was the Fury of the Small, which
Well, now I don't have a tattoo anymore.
it's true. And
My dad will be very happy.
to be fair,
To be
To be
fair.
fair. You owe PSK $15.
You do.
No, to be fair, many things are not smaller than you, so it was of lesser use for you than all the rest.
I think it was more like fury of the small chance that they survive against her.
That's right. Right. All right, so your boon, your tattoo fades.
Oh, now I'm not a forced follower of Kitanudi. Whew.
So we can remove that from the name?
Yes, but I still saved her, so you can still put savior of Kinkanudi,
Please.
but real follower of Anam,
Right.
the strongest one.
I can't fit a name that long. It needs to be more pithy and short.
Nay. Something to do with knick-knack.
What is your name?
Something with knick-knack.
You say he was on the level of legendary friend to you.
Oh, he was my second best friend.
I knew him for like 3 days.
Who's knick-knack? Who is?
He was my second best friend.
I suppose not.
Well, I think, Ray is at the heart of all of this.
It's true.
You are,
Yeah, she
the
did bring us
carrier of
all
Sora,
together.
and you are the coolest
Child
13
we've ever met.
It's true.
coolest
Yeah.
13-year-old I've ever met.
Thank you.
And have you seen how she rages?
That's impressive.
You rage pretty
I mean,
coolly.
they say about the terrible 2s. Whew, I say terrible 13s.
Yeah, seriously.
This is so nice. I'm gonna put this in my letter to my dad.
What if
Have
we call
have you-
ourselves Ray's Ragers? We just throw rages across the room.
Raise Rager.
Ragers.
Yeah, Ragers. We're throwing a Rager
The
tonight.
Ragers
Yeah.
are RAY-GERS.
Ragers.
You don't want me being a barbarian. No, it's a bad idea.
I
can
would
do
like
that.
to rage heal.
We could do that.
Healing in my anger.
Has anyone else noticed how she overreacts all the time? We could be the overreactors.
Don't overreact.
I say that in a good way.
Oh, okay.
The overreactor.
Overreactors.
Or, I mean, there is my thunder glove too.
I think like the
could
Fisters
be-
has a different connotation.
No,
though.
no, no.
The
that's
Ragers.
How do you know that? You shouldn't have agreed with me, young
My
lady.
mom gave me a very deep talk before
She
I
talked
went
about
out to
that
this
in your
world.
talk.
I know everything.
Was that
Wait.
that?
Could you like?
The Ragers.
Could you
I
tell
like
me
that.
something?
No!
The Ragers.
My mind is scarred!
Okay, let's go with the Ragers. huh?
Rager.
Ragers. Yeah, the
Rigger.
Ragers. GRRR. How many R's are there?
What
1,
was
2,
the other
3,
one?
4, 5,
Fists of-
6.
Fists of God?
Ray dash
remember.
capital
Ah,
it was a
G
good one.
lowercase
If I wanted to be
R,
super
R,
serious
R,
about
R,
it, we could do
S.
something like Fist of God, but honestly, I like the Ragers.
Let's go with the Ragers, huh?
Bird lady, what do you think?
I don't really have a choice. I don't know any of you very well, but I was a Sid several, so I guess I could be a Rager.
Rager.
I like the grrr
You have
one
to
more.
growl- you have to
Can I go
growl the second
grrr?
Rager.
Who is this Sid? I bet he was really cool.
Can you put a
I-
sound on the writ?
A she, and she was.
Can you put emojis down
A
of like
facial
the going
expression
face?
while you
The
say it.
homophone?
So it's Rager, tiger
is
face
actually,
emoji,
yes.
tiger face emoji.
But it's a hard G, not a
What was
soft
that
G.
one? It was so good.
It would normally
Fist of
be
God?
read grr, but we wanted to
the
say
God fist.
grr.
No.
The Fists of Outstanding Thunder or something like
Something
that?
like that.
Foot.
the footer.
The
No
f-
acronyms, they're overdone!
No, it was
Team
like
of outstanding fisters. Well, that doesn't play right. No.
Poof.
fists of
That's 2 on the nose, I think.
outstanding.
I think overreactors is funny. I think Ragers is funny.
What
Everyone
does
in
the
our party
chat
uses
say?
weapons, so our hands are
So far,
useless.
Rager.
What do you
I
think
think
in chat?
the Ragers, yeah. R-A-Y-G-R-R-R-R-S.
With 6 R's because there's 6 of us.
That's true.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Then when one of us dies, we just take an R
What
off.
happens if we put H's at the end too? Because a lot of you guys begin on H, and then it's Rager.
Why would we do that?
Because it has my name, it should have your name on it too.
What if we put a tilde on random letters?
Is
so
that
that
one
it's
of
like
those
Rakesh?
sounds your mother told you about?
Have you? Oh, jeez.
No.
Have you ever heard of the boy band In Sync?
maybe.
I'm sure you have their teeny bop nonsense, but they came to their name because in sync was letters from each of their names, huh?
Really?
It's actually true.
I never knew
I
that.
did not make that up.
I believe you.
All of you are consonants. That would be horrible.
Well, here's how InSync got around that. The N in InSync was for Justin.
Justin.
It was the last letter of his name, so it wasn't like they all
Let's see.
started with it.
Celine.
Well, if we go with
Company,
last letters,
that's 2 C's. So we have 3 H's and 2 C's.
Let's also talk about the C in
Rager.
InSync. One of their guys was called JC. That's not even the real name. So, like, we could do whatever we want. Really.
Crazy bards.
Seriously, all 5 of them together?
Yeah, only probably 2 or 3 of them were bards.
Oh, cutting! Cutting! So,
You choose, Rager.
Oh.
Besides the first one you suggested, way too long and annoying.
Oh, that was my favorite one.
you have free reign except for the one you
I
want
guess
to-
I like the Rager, but I feel bad because it's just my name, and it should be all of us because we're a team effort, and we're gonna save the world, and we're gonna stop the storm.
Damn straight!
And then we're gonna save the world again. Can we have world savers?
And all of our names will be the Rager.
How about lifesavers?
Ooh, that's branding? Is good, but I feel like we'll get sued.
That's fair.
The Ragers is not taken. I looked it up.
No, yeah, I mean, no one would have 6 R's. It doesn't make sense. So, I mean, we'll save the world under this banner. And, positive note, right? As we get supervillain bad guy foils, they'll think of you and not me.
Oh, I'll protect you guys all like that.
Perfect. I like Ragers.
Rage as it is.
Rager.
Do you really want the 6 R's?
Yes.
No, that's definitely.
It's incredibly important to team building.
All right.
I think we only need 5.
Oh, the storm chasers
Actually,
are pretty
that's
good.
a pretty good one. Yeah,
That
'cause
was a
that's-
really good
That's what
one.
we're doing. Badger, why did you wait until the end there, huh?
Seriously.
Oh,
I
storm
really like that one.
Wow.
Weather people.
That's a good one.
That's a good
that's
one.
what we're doing.
I take it back!
I take it back. I ripped the writ out. Make another one.
It'll take me so much. I didn't even put what do you want me to do now?
We
The
actually
storm
just had a
chaser
moment of genius.
gers.
Do we like the storm chasers?
I do.
I do.
That one's my favorite one.
I actually like that.
In all reality.
Yeah, no, in all reality, that
We're
one's
gonna do that one.
Storm chaser.
Yes.
The
'Cause
with a capital T, like the capital T, lady.
No, but it's
L.
pronounced the Storm Chaser.
I like it. It's classy. Yeah.
What if it's Rager of a storm chaser?
No.
We just start
That
acting
sounds like
start
something
writing
else.
Storm chasers.
That's us.
No,
Is
us.
that your
we are the
final
Storm
answer?
Reachers. We want to speak into existence what we are going to.
Yeah, ideally we would be the storm stoppers, but I'd like to not
We don't want
overpromise.
to. We don't want to keep. We don't want to keep chasing the storm.
We
want
are
to-
at
wait,
least on
The
the path.
storm-
Maybe
The
this
storm
is a name.
breakers.
Maybe this name
The
could
storm
like,
breakers.
evolve over time, huh? As we
It could
do.
be metaphoric. There's always a metaphoric storm.
Yes. You know, that's true. At this
Well,
point,
in this
we are
case,
only
there's
chasers.
a literal storm.
If we
One
ever
day,
turn
y'all,
evil, it's the
we
storm
might be
makers.
storm stoppers.
The storm pacifiers. Yes.
What if we just call ourselves the storm, huh? Think about it.
The anti-storm.
But then when I say we have to stop the storm, it sounds like I'm
it
stopping
would
my
be
team.
confusing, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, understood.
yeah.
The
So-
storm
Skies.
chasers it is.
And then when we
Storm
get there,
Ragers.
we'll turn
Oh,
our
the
name
Storm
into, like-
Ragers.
That's what I said.
You did? I don't believe you. Phantom's great name. The Storm Ragers.
He's the best of both worlds.
Yes, the Storm
The
Ragers
Storm
with 6
Ragers.
R's and 1 in Storm.
Where all the R's are in storm.
Started to write the.
No, that's good. Yep, the. We are
The
sure on
storm
that.
Ragers.
He
Okay,
actually wrote
okay.
Ragers first, and then he started over the Storm Ragers.
The calligraphy is like super.
Storm
The
Ragers.
storm.
The 6
All right.
Ragers.
Yep, the Ricky Bobbies. Yep, that's right.
Ricky Bobby's.
Is that your final answer?
I like that one.
I like that one.
Rage Against the Storm
way
is
we're not-
also an awesome metal name. If we want to just quit this thing and start a band, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, Rage Against the Storm would also be a sweet name.
That's another good one.
R-A-Y-G Against the Storm. Wait, race!
Against the storm.
Storm Ragers.
Storm Rangers is
I
good.
can convert the into the rage, I think.
I'm fine with this.
against the
I'm
That's
fine.
right. Rage against the storm.
All right, I'm fine with storm chases, and I'm also fine with storm rages. How do we
The
feel?
storm.
Oh, that is
Names are
implied.
important.
Let's roll.
I think we should rage
Should we
against
roll
the
for
storm.
this?
Well, what do you guys? What do you guys think? What does the community think?
We
we've
don't have any meta
it
minutes,
sounds-
Bob.
We're the worst at picking our name, by
It
the way.
sounds like you've narrowed it down to the Storm Ragers or Rage against the Storm,
Both
which-
are really good.
which you guys would be rats.
Yes, the rats!
That's a win better than four.
That's a win.
That's the one.
That's the one. Rats.
I like that.
Oh,
That's perfect.
How do we pull? I don't know how to make.
I
a
was
poll on
listening
Twitch.
to Cage the Elephant and something Bring Me the Horizon, and it just all mixed together.
I don't have any idea how to do a poll.
My new friend's rats.
Well, just type in the ones you want.
I like rats.
I love rats. I like that. I
That's
like
my
bonuses.
Yo, Prince, you lose by, dude. pick a side. Don't stay on your island.
So like, if we need to be underestimated, we're the rats. If we need to intimidate, we're Rage
Or
Against
if we
the
mess
Storm.
up, we just
It's
go
versatile.
all rats.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. It's
I
built
like
in.
acronyms like that, so.
That's
and I think
great.
it's way better than foot.
So
Yeah, it is better than foot.
Okay, so we got Rage Against the Storm, which you could also
The
go
Rats
by
of
that.
Zim, even better. Oh.
Those are the Rats of Nim. Wasn't that a
Yep,
movie?
yep. Except Zim, no Y, ZM.
Rats of Zim.
That's
We're
hilarious.
starting a franchise. This is great.
All right, so Rage Against the Storm or the Storm Ragers. Those are our two options.
Rage against the storm. Rage against the
Rats.
storm.
So I guess we do exclamation point, right?
Sure. Exclamation point. Rage
we
Against
can
the
tally
Storm.
that up.
Exclamation point rats or exclamation point.
Oh, Phantom votes for
Rage.
Storm Ragers.
You can't pick anything else.
Okay.
I guess you can.
Phantom
You're
Storm
gonna
Ragers.
lose though.
Making the rules.
Can I have some
Start
pencils?
voting. This is we're gonna watch the chat and see what you guys want. If you are in the chat, we have a bunch of viewers right now. Please. Okay, there's another one for. Well, there's one, so it's 1-1 right now, I believe.
Rats.
Oh, rats.
You dirty rats.
That's amazing.
And the vote's over. Rats wins. Good. Nice.
2 rats.
FOF, canceled vote. I'm gonna put a negative FOF out there. Okay. We're now
Okay, so that's two. Another one for
Storm.
Rage Against
Another
the
one for rats.
Storm Ragers.
Yeah. Are we 2-2 now?
We're
I think
2
it's 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Rats has
Yep.
3.
Rats.
I mean, our votes count too. I mean, more importantly than theirs, of course.
Do you guys have, as a group, have a consensus?
I like rats.
I
I
like
think rats.
rats.
is so funny.
Everyone
Rats.
likes cacophony as well.
If we
Well, I
were,
mean, she is a bird, so she has to vote for rats.
if we were cooler, I'd say Storm Chase.
I think we have to name ourselves. It's rats.
I think
We all just
the
picked
Well, right
rats.
now, there's
Rage Against
the
the
majority that are coming up are rats anyway. So
Rage
We
against
definitely
the storm,
can't-
that's also more accurate, too, because
That's
it is
right.
Ray against the storm.
And I can't let Mike pick our name, so I can't let City Guard pick our name.
oh, that's tied up from the community.
Oh boy, Roger.
This is interesting.
Comes to the last vote. Rage Against the Storm. Hey, what are you doing? You're ruining the vote here.
Just typing it out for spelling.
DM advantage. Thank you, City Guard, for those
Oh,
two
my
Oh,
God.
because we
advantages.
didn't pick his...
Come on!
Oh, we didn't pick your
come
choice.
I'll see you this Thursday night.
Oh, don't punish me for that, Jake.
no, no,
Come
no.
on.
No, City Guard.
Okay, good.
Pasquale might have a rough go of it this Thursday.
Somewhere right now, Paz's tooth just broke. Again.
And I lost my
PSK,
porcelain
yes, you have to
pieces
vote-
to fix it.
Vote for one of those two, PSK. You would. So right now, you would be the tiebreaker.
He's gonna pick against me on purpose.
Why would we do that? That's what you get for being snarky, Steve.
Pride before the fall.
You know what? I'm trying to get into the character he likes, and
Snark
he
before
votes
the bark.
against me.
So right now,
Trying to be more like Wolfram, City Guard. All right.
The cast likes rats. and the community is tied between Rage Against the Storm, rats, and Storm Ragers.
Oh, we're giving away that spider dragon
PSK
city
says
Rats.
rats.
Yes!
All right.
And
Final answer.
Prince
Done.
picks it.
All right. So you watch as Greer
Parentheses rats.
Freaking rat.
begins. He does not write the acronym. He writes out Rage Against the Storm. R-A-Y.
Do you want R-A-Y-G-E? Is that how you want
I
it?
think it's dash G.
Oh, a dash.
I don't know. I think it's better without the dash. It's like just rage.
But then it looks like
R-A-Y-G.
Raggy.
No, if you read it, it looks like
Well,
rage.
no.
Okay, let's have a vote on how to spell it. All right, let's do it.
He did R-A-Y-G-E against the storm.
No, I like it. It's
I
good name.
barely
Otherwise, it
have
looks
enough room for this. My font size had to change, but
Times New Roman.
I kind of like the name. It's catchy. You can shorten it, as you've said.
It's French.
Sorry.
It's French.
Roger!
My son.
Only when drowned
Rosé.
speak it.
Then
Rosé
then
against
it's
the
going to be the
Rage.
rats. The rats of Nîmes, no? So
Marlboro Man.
he completes your writ of passage, and he looks at you all.
Who will be the bearer of the writ?
Not me!
Not her.
Actually, I feel like it'd be,
I could take it.
Would
you
you
give
ever
it up?
show it to?
Yeah,
Either
of
that or
course I
Celine
would.
should
Why
have it.
wouldn't I?
Because if you don't, we all die.
You know what?
Yeah,
Having said that,
that's
I will
fine.
take it then. Reach over her wing.
Or
He
Or she
hands it
can
out
take it.
towards Cacophony, and Celine, you just take it.
and then she just laminates it, puts it in a folder, in another folder. It's the most organized system ever, and then in her
So
pocket.
Celine has the writ of passage. Very good.
or that works too. I guess you could hold it.
It's just there's a
That's
lot.
fine.
I've seen inside your bag, and there were a lot of like
Putin on the
body
rats.
parts and
It's very goopy.
leaking goop. Yeah, so it's
Put
like
on the
it's
rats.
probably important that we don't get goop on it. But ordinarily, you can carry anything. Just maybe not the paper that will determine if we live.
That's fair. Okay.
Okay.
So, where are you off to now?
We have to go get the moat, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the closest place to here to get the moat?
Let me see. Give me a second. I wrote it down.
Here it's down south.
Something
Wasn't
monk
it like-
fat.
Monk fats? Something?
Monk fat?
Where
Monks
are we
don't
going?
have fat.
Oh, we're going to see a fat monk, huh?
The tomb of Muckfat the Blind?
Okay.
That one.
Yes.
Oh, it says
Now-
on the map Oasis. That's quite
Now
different.
listen,
Clearly,
I was
we need to
told...
go
It
the
is an
palace.
oasis as well.
We need to go to the Palace of Dust. That's where we need to go.
There was also something about a worm, too.
Yeah, but again, I'm not interested in traveling all over the
Yes,
Cinder
the
Wastes.
nest
Let's
of
get
the
this
grey
freaking
worm.
thing done.
Oh, you know what we could do? We can have Celine work with her ring, because that will point us in the direction of the moat, and then we might be able to narrow it down. Instead of trying for like 5 places, we could try for like 2 places,
So,
because that's what her ring does.
Yeah,
So
no,
we're here.
I'm gonna reiterate this though. So like geographically speaking, we are in one location,
Uh-huh.
and there are about 5 locations out there that have a moat.
Uh-huh. Well, no, there's one of 5. So it could be in one of the places of the 5.
That's not how I remember that, but okay.
4 possible locations.
4 possible. Okay. So
Well,
why wouldn't we?
there
buy
We
was-
should go to the closest one.
exactly.
Or we can have the ring point out the direction.
So is it
Oasis
doing it now?
of
Go.
Muckfat the Blind.
Is geographically the closest.
Oasis of Muckfat the Blind.
If we start going that way and the ring doesn't turn on, we stop.
That
I
I
can
believe that's the
work
way
on
you
it.
said you were headed before.
No, actually, I'm not supposed to go there. Mango Bar told me not to, but listen, okay. I used to dungeon delve in the tombs all the time. The coolest shit is there. And it's been a while since, like, you know,
Oh, that's a tomb.
yeah, probably.
Oasis is
Yeah,
a tomb.
Well, it depends. It's Eye of the Beholder.
Oh, the
It's
blind.
it's an oasis for cool stuff, or it's a tomb that you shouldn't go into. But I look at it as an oasis for cool things that we could probably pinch.
I'd like to find some cool things.
I like cool
Will
things.
it help me
It's also,
defeat
it's
the
also the
void?
quickest trip, y'all. So I mean, we can get there faster from
That's
where
what
we
I'm
are.
geographically.
It
It
is
makes
not
sense.
an uninhabited tomb.
Go on.
What will we fight?
Well, the acolytes of Muckfat are there, overseeing his mausoleum.
He must really have mucky farts.
I see what you did there.
Uh-huh.
It's a good one, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
What
I
kind?
don't understand.
That's because it didn't work, but
Oh.
Abby,
Sorry.
normal.
His name was Muckfart.
incorrect.
Oh.
That's what it sounded like.
Walk this
now,
way.
I get it. Right.
What are these acolytes?
They tend to his resting place.
Yes, but what are they? What manner of creature are they?
All manner
Yeah,
of humanoids, they revere him.
I've done this a lot of times. It's
Muckfat the Immortal.
See? Muckfart.
they
Who was Muck?
It's a lot of people that think that they can either A, bring him back, or B, protect his treasures so that
B.
no one like us goes in there and gets some cool stuff.
So who was Muckfat though in life?
And so in there is,
I didn't study him too
Yes, you
deeply,
did. Roll again.
but I know that he is revered and has been laid to rest for several centuries now.
Oh, this is right up my alley, I'm telling you.
do you think that we...
Wait, he's still
oh,
cooking.
do you think that we have a chance of finding what we're looking for there?
If I were someone of importance, so much so that they built a mausoleum for me, and then my followers centuries later protected said mausoleum,
Most likely they're guarding something.
that's what I'm getting at. And
Yep.
if they don't have a moat, I guarantee you they have some other cool shit.
Some really cool shit.
Mangobar, you say? Told you not to go there.
Yeah, but like he got kicked out of his own
Who
country, so
is
like
Mango
you know.
Bar.
Oh, he was in charge of when they kidnapped me. He was in charge of the pit fights.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not very nice here.
Or
Mango
maybe.
Bar. Mango Bar was one of the houses who sent a champion,
Me?
and the champion of his house was
Who was the one that
Hashim.
was in charge of the pit fights?
Mm.
That was Shapoopy or something. What did I call him?
Drag boob.
Drag
Drag boob.
Drag
That's
boob.
it.
Drag
Drag-
boob.
He's the family that
Drag
sent you to
boob.
the pits?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Well,
yeah.
so
so-
what you're saying is the guy that sent you to potentially your death is telling you not to go to this place because he probably knows there's some good
Exactly.
shit there.
So you see what I'm saying?
I see exactly, man. Our logic is on par. It's infallible.
Yep.
We should definitely head in that direction.
Listen, and there's
Are you
nothing
sure?
I
'Cause
love
you know
more.
him so well now. This is
Nothing I
great.
love more than potentially offing some crazy cultists who believe in the dead god.
You know, it's been a little while since we've been in the pits. It could be fun.
I'm itching for a fight. You saw what I did to that Jabberwock?
This was rather amazing.
It was. I'll be honest. I didn't know I had it in me.
I've always known that you've had it in you.
Oh, thank you, Ugo. Oh, yeah.
Close.
I'm feeling a little stronger myself,
Oh,
actually.
yeah? Let me feel your bicep.
But like a scrawny little bird. on.
It's a hollow bone.
I promise you, it's a little bit stronger.
Listen, your triceps pretty defined.
As you squeeze her arm, she shoots an Eldritch Blast.
I'm
And
sorry
it's not,
about that.
It's not just one, but now it's two that go forth.
Hey, did you know you could do that?
I didn't,
Well, you do now.
but I could. I knew I had it in me.
Does this mean that you have to just squeeze your arm every time you're
I
firing?
want to try now. Can we test this theory out?
Try your left arm.
Two Eldritch Blasts
Hey!
go forth.
Look at that. Now, do
That's
you have
so
to
weird.
do it? Like, do you have to?
No, I never have before, but sometimes I miss, so maybe I should just squeeze my arm. Maybe that's how I should be doing it.
Ray just holds her up in battle like a turret. When our necklaces light up, that's our ultimate attack.
Oh no!
When our necklaces light up again, that's our group ultimate attack.
Oh no. Oh no.
Don't give her a hug.
Yeah. Okay, third person. Okay, you got some cool stuff, huh?
Thanks.
And it looks like you like cool shit too. So me, Ugo,
I really do.
Ugo, who's my best friend,
Let's
my
go
best
for the
Sadiq,
mukfat.
and you, Sadika, we could go, get some cool stuff,
All right.
and
let's
maybe
do
a
it.
moat.
Can
What's the
someone
moat?
please remind me why we are going to
moat,
these
let me see.
places again?
Okay.
Remember, I wasn't there in the
Oh
when
yeah,
you just
Vex.
described the floaty thing.
You're no longer Vex. So
I'm Helgi.
we were in a the pit, right?
Remind the audience as well.
Yes, I'm doing that. We were in the pit. We were fighting for our houses, each one of us.
Yes.
Except for,
I was kidnapped.
Yeah. And Celine technically wasn't fighting. She accidentally fell in. and Cacophony?
We just found her. Yes.
Yeah, she wasn't here either.
Yeah, it was
So, really, it was the other you,
Oh, I understand.
Hugo, and me. And we were fighting for supremacy. And then we fought a silver mask person. And when we killed them, shadow demons popped out and started accosting the audience. And then they made their way into the city. We fell from an outrageously tall building in height, and we were saved. And then we were told, hey, in order to stop these shadow demons, we have to go get a writ of entry, of passage, which we just got from Cheese, and a mote of shadow.
One mote of shadow.
Just one.
And we were told there were 4 locations.
4 possible locations for one Wahid, mote of shadow.
Okay.
And, we get those 2 things together. We come back.
And we take over the town.
Yeah,
I'd like-
we kill the Sultan and we move on.
I'd like to insight Greer while he's talking about the shadow and the silver mask person.
Please do.
Does he,
Roll your
seem
insight
to
check.
understand
Oh,
anything?
nice.
Or know of or have seen anything like that? In his travels in the darkness?
It's so funny watching you pull up PDF.
17.
Greer is listening intently to your group. His affect doesn't seem to change at the mention of the mote of shadow, but he is definitely very interested in your conversation and your motivations behind finding the mote. He speaks up.
I'll help however I can. It's the least I can do.
And how would that be?
I can give you information. I can research things for you. I can still speak of our distances to you.
Could you teach me how you were able to penetrate the darkness when we were in the grasp of Shar's hands?
That's
I
an excellent
could
question.
teach you, but it would take many years of study. You have to be a high-level arcanist to cast such a spell with very particular ingredients. Or be a radiant soul that can do such things, which I don't happen to be anymore.
Understood.
so
You need a radiant soul to do
Couldn't
that?
do it now.
To pierce through the dreaming dark, yes.
And
that
actually, it makes
explains
sense.
That in hindsight makes more sense.
What do we know about motes of shadow?
Did real quick, when I've seen Sola, does Sola look like what he looked like when he was there?
You saw, I think in her...
In the darkness, I saw her.
Did you?
Mhm.
Then yes, you did see her in that radiant form.
Foreshadowing.
Do you intend to continue your
Helgi
experiments for
slides
Lorelei?
back.
Yes, of course. Lorelei and I must be together, but I will not be foolish and reckless. And if I have any breakthroughs, how about this? Ooh, ha, ha, Galoo, Calais. I'll ask you for help.
Oh, yeah, that probably works, yeah.
I'd prefer that over making deals with the Fae again.
They're not all so bad.
That was weird.
My throat tickled all of a sudden when I said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps then reaching out to that mistress of darkness is no longer an option for you?
Ooh, Lorelei?
No. It was read that you were contemplating partnering with Shar. In one of the notes that the Fae were
Oh, yeah, we did read
diligently reading through.
Not a partnership, simply an infiltration of her domain.
that. Okay.
Okay. Perspective, I suppose.
Let's put the tab in that. We'll remember, eh? Yeah. What do we know about Motes of Shadow?
I know nothing.
What were you poking around in my personal affects for?
Hey,
I'll
I mean,
tell
we
you
raised you
this.
from the dead.
When we arrived, there were many unseelie infiltrators
oh yeah.
in both rooms on
Oh,
the
yeah.
second floor. All
Yep.
3 rooms, including Dimitri.
Yeah.
And they threw fireballs at us.
That's
and
exactly what happened.
Some of the manuscripts were destroyed.
Yep.
While they tried to save all the manuscripts, the fire spread a wee bit. But I did put it out. Some stuff's wet in the one room.
He's kind of watching you and nodding enthusiastically, following your
Oh yeah,
story.
we're trying to protect your affect.
We think we removed as many fae as we found. There are 3 monsters on your first floor, but
Oh, that is a good point. Yes, there were 3 down on the
Oh.
very first floor, sleeping. By the way, so don't until you find like a way to like exterminate
Fimorians
them.
or something. Do you know about them?
Ugh,
you
I
can,
know about them.
Yeah, she wants to bash their skulls in. The
I
whole time.
do.
you may also fund your research by mining mithril from below your basement.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's always been a source of revenue for me.
The black pudding may be a problem, though.
Oh, I think we killed them.
I
Unlike
used
the
them to
Stupid Fomorians.
eat away the stone around the mithril.
Oh,
Much
then,
more efficient than
then,
mining.
Then you might want some more black pudding.
We
I understand.
I don't mean to be so crass to ask this so directly, but
Oh yeah.
if you are interested in continuing to work with us and potentially in our endeavors, we might be able to help further your own research for Lorelei. Well, I mean, to put it bluntly, we came out of slave pits and gladiator pits, and while we've been fortunate so far to not need any financial support, I don't realistically know how much longer that will continue to suffice for us. So, if it wouldn't be a hardship and it would be something you'd interested in patronizing our group, we would be appreciative of that.
TLDR, we're poor as shit.
Hold on.
That is between the lines of what I was
need-
what I was saying.
I totally understand being funded. However, I need to understand what the sarcophagi in the
I was
basement
going there next.
and the cage
yeah.
of person being hung up in the basement was
Yeah.
from.
Oh yeah, there was one that was really cool.
I doubt that the Fae put those beings there, and so you have some trust to gain back.
Or maybe they were bad. Yeah. Maybe he killed them. Let's let them
And
talk.
make no assumption.
Let's not jump to any conclusions. Okay, murderer, talk.
Torture of information gathering
Hold
is
on.
what I am assuming,
Let
and
me
I say
go
that out
to my
loud.
notes.
Torturer of information gathering.
It
could
was a
have at
pretty
least-
gnarly scene.
Could have at least let him pay us first. What we called him murderer.
And we think that there were at least a gnome in one of those sarcophagi, right? Out of game.
Yeah, one of them.
Callister was the one who
Callister.
built this wizard's tower.
Okay.
He built it to fight against the elemental dragons about, to be a stronghold of such. He failed in his endeavor and was laid in state here as
Okay.
owner of the tower.
Bad.
His inheritor was Fenden. He
Okay.
took up the mantle, and rather than fighting dragons, focused on demons and fiends, and for a long time held them at bay from the city of Brass. Before dying of old age and his apprentice, Pericope, took things after. He was from the Fae. And, well,
We've
was-
heard that before, right?
a bit of a bard.
That was the little.
He was a gnome when travel. And in his travels, I met him in the Feywild and became his humble apprentice.
Oh, okay. How about the one that was in the cage stuck to the ceiling?
Are you Canadian now?
Oh yeah. Hey there, bud. So I was wondering, if you could help us out,
I don't know who you are.
I'm just working on some other accents. They might become relevant in about 3 to 4 years.
2 if we keep accepting badger.
Ah, yes. The 4th. I don't want to tell you about him.
Why not?
What did he have access to that you wanted access to? Don't need to tell us who he is.
He was a wretched betrayer of Lorelei and myself, and got his just desserts. That's all I want to talk of it.
Hey, did you know he swallowed the key?
That explains a lot.
How
You
about
gotta
the
cast
giant
4th level
sarcophagus?
laxative next time.
Does the person in the cage have anything to do with
Do you have the key?
No.
with the man stuck training little rabbits in the garden?
That's a girl training little rabbits in the
Mark,
garden.
yeah.
That's a girl?
It's a female
Tiefling.
tiefling. Probably related to Morthos.
Out of game.
Most definitely.
Is what we assume.
No, we don't have the key. We got accosted by R.A.T.S. And then,
Roll a deception check.
You should have said I don't have the key.
I'm okay at deception, so
Nice. Oh yeah, you're a freaking warlock.
I think we'll be okay here.
I hope you crit fail.
I did not. I did not.
Did he crit fail?
No, I rolled it.
didn't
It's
see.
an 11. I rolled a 3.
Oh my gosh!
You rolled a 3.
It's an 11. I tell you what, Pericope really packed a punch. And then when we looked inside, she had this book. Is it the she or a he?
Pericope?
Yeah.
It's whatever it felt like at the time.
Okay, well, they had the book that when we went to grab it, do you remember what book it was? It just disappeared.
Oh, the customs of the Fae?
Yeah.
Why would you be looking for a key? What importance does that have? We traveled all the way up to the tower, so I mean we saw a lot of detritus if the Fae were looking for it.
That key belonged to my Lorelei.
Oh, yeah? It's interesting.
Celine
If
is
you
glaring
have it,
at
I would like it back.
Celine is glaring at Sheen.
Interesting.
How about
Yeah.
the sarcophagus with the giants on it?
I'd like to insight if he's afraid, or hopeful, or scared, or now angry.
Please.
That's an easy one.
Or not.
Give me an answer if I crit failed. Give me the opposite answer of what I asked.
Got him!
He doesn't even care about it.
He simply
maybe,
is.
yeah,
He
maybe.
simply is insistent. You can't really discern the emotion behind the insistence.
Dice. This is JB's fault. He's removed from the dice circle. Dice
Yeah.
octagon.
Well, I think maybe if you go down and check the basement, again, there was a big hubbub, and that shaft is wide open down below. Maybe it got kicked down that way.
Helgi pulls out the key.
Thank you.
I don't see why we would do that.
I crit failed, dude.
That you asked a question. That doesn't mean you give him.
No,
the
I'm
thing.
inciting him, and he's not angry at me. He's not
Okay.
looking for revenge. I
So
say,
he's looking at you,
We-
and then Helgi brings out the key. He looks at the key, and then he looks back at you.
Look at that! We found it!
sorry. This is my key. It is our key. We were attacked by the monsters down there.
No, no,
we
this
will
is-
keep the key.
Yeah.
We will help you find what it is you need to find, like we have already tried. But now I see your face is becoming more than a crit fail. And you look like you have some...
Okay,
Can you just give him the
cheese.
key, please? It's his
Ray,
No, 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 no.
automatically, you
No.
see her
Do you see
hand
what he
almost
did?
slide up
No.
and get more in a defensive position, like more subtly and stealthily, but
Ray
she's
looks
ready.
over at you, and he says,
Calm down,
Inside
Ragers. What are your names again?
rats.
The rats.
Earned it.
Raging against the storm. It's
No.
kind of catchy.
Too many syllables.
Not gonna try to take the key, but that does belong to me.
No, it belongs to your wife.
my wife, and by the law of inheritance,
If
belongs
you
to
think
me.
if you think you can bring her back, then her inheritance is in standstill, and I claimed it first.
Why are we quibbling over
not
this
finders
man's
keepers.
dead wife's
Possession is
possessions?
9/10 of the law. It's in the book.
Why do you
Peggy.
care so much about this key, but not the ring that you know that we have that's hers?
Yes, answer.
Roll a persuasion check.
That's all I want is answers.
I'm gonna use an advantage.
Do it.
It's loading. Give me a second.
It's pretty epic music for the suspense of the moment.
Well, it could be suspenseful.
14.
she carried the ring with her into the dark. The key she left behind. Well, rather it was taken before she left.
By the guy you don't like who betrayed you and her. What was his name?
Don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Did she
Yeah,
need? Did
yeah.
she need the key where she was going? Is that why she can't come back?
Stands to reason.
She took the ring to find that key.
Interesting.
She thought it directed her towards it. In her research,
Is the key a moat?
no.
No, I don't see why the ring would direct her then.
Grid, look, you saved our lives against the darkness. You saved us against what claimed your wife once. In return, and as gratitude and out of doing, frankly, the right thing,
We will think about.
we wanted
giving
to
you
help
the
you at the tower. But look, I know what grief and loss looks like. And I see it on your face. And I'm so sorry for your loss, but keeping these things tight to your chest, it doesn't help that heal. And I'm not asking this to pry from you, but we are going into very real dangers that have very world-bending consequences with magical items. And it's difficult to not start to treat secrecy like that with suspicion. And I don't want to think differently of your character. I think you would be willing to help us, but I would love to return this to you. If you could just reassure us and share what you know, if you can.
I have shared honestly with you. Let me think about it. And in time, perhaps as we build each other's trust,
I like it.
we can talk more of this. It is enough for now that I know who has the key. Please, please.
Give it the cook off.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Do not give it to anyone.
We won't.
Give it the cacophony.
I'll hold it.
You
I'll
will
cut it
never
up.
get it back.
I will give it to no one.
I'm sorry for the deception. We just had to be sure.
I'll be honest, I'm not.
All right, Hasheen is very sorry for the deception.
I'm not.
He is.
Warlocks are never sorry.
I'm not a warlock! Jeez! This guy over here, huh? Jeez.
I'm clearly a sorcerer.
Her Eldritch Blast goes off.
If you say so.
What about her?
I don't know. She kept saying that she doesn't remember her beginnings. Do you remember her beginnings? She said she just remembers pain, and then no more pain, and then bunnies!
She said you helped her get here.
Yeah!
I purchased her.
From who?
From whom?
Some evil wenches.
How are you in contact with him? Why were you in contact with some evil wenches? Or does that have to do with the guy you don't want to talk about in the cage? Which also leads down to the path that you did some unsavory things to bring back possibly your dead wife. Who's the warlock now, huh?
I didn't do unsavory things. I exercised an unsavory ritual. I didn't hurt anyone but myself.
It's one way to look at it.
Yes, they are related.
Hence why I'm not ashamed of lying to you. I need more information.
Your morality is interesting.
There are 3 big, nasty creatures downstairs.
Can I kill him?
Our friend is attached to your obelisk and will remain attached to this tower, yes.
He will?
That is our deposit.
I like it.
We shall.
Deposited Knick-Knack's life.
Well, I mean,
Down payment, here you go.
We will
he
obviously be
deposited
back.
himself, yeah.
We will obviously be back because we care for him.
And you know we have the key and it's not going anywhere.
Will you tell us what the key opens? Or what it does?
Probably a door.
I know someone who has lots of doors and loves keys.
Anything that this key shows me, tells me, leads me towards.
He looks at you with an intense stare.
Oh shit.
Who is it?
I don't remember his name.
What did he look like?
He was short. Well, shorter than me. Well, most people are shorter than me. And we went into this little dimension, and there was a ton of doors, and he loved keys. And then he was talking, and then someone tried to steal from him, and then we found out he was really powerful. And then I don't remember his name, though.
Was it a gnome?
Yeah, he's pretty short. Gnomes are short. Probably.
I think it was more like a halfling, no?
I don't know. You weren't there.
I thought I was. I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure it was a gnome.
physically I wasn't there.
Tried to.
But someone played
I
my
think it was a
character.
gnome.
I think it was a gnome.
It
How do
was.
you know them?
I found him. We were driving along while we were walking along this forest to kill a dragon because of the late capital T, capital L lady was there, and then we found people who were coming down with a cart, and then they ended up being bad guys in the cart, and they were trying to get into like some shadow cave or whatever, and we really needed a way to get into the shadow cave, so we started fighting the carriage, and then we ended up winning, and then we found this pocket dimension in this carriage, and then we met him.
You
And then he gave us a way to open the Shadow of Cave. Shadow of Whispers? Cave of Whispers?
I think it was that.
Yeah, that's most definitely what it was.
Cave of Whispers!
It was definitely.
You
what it
watch
was.
him kind of stroking his whiskers as he's listening to your tale, clearly
You have a
taking it
tail?
in.
No.
And
Pigtail.
he is
No, I don't even have pigtail anymore.
kind of watches Ray, then he looks back at Vex/Helgi, who he knows has the key.
Does it open one of those? Should I use it to open one of those? Lots of doors.
Can you get back to him?
Yeah!
Wait, you can?
Yeah! I've told you guys about him like at least 6 times.
I'm sorry, do I know of this gnome?
Knick-knack, right?
I don't believe.
Okay.
You know gnomes are very rare. You heard them talk about a gnome. Well, you were with Knick-Knack for a time, and you heard him talk about gnomes. And you saw a gnome with lots of doors when you were in Sigil. And
I
you,
wasn't in Sigil.
Weren't you?
after you defeated saved Kikanuti, you were briefly in. No, sorry. No, I'm mixing the games.
You are.
You.
Ray's the only one that's been there.
Yeah, Ray's the only one that's been there. Yes, you guys were in Sigil with Lore Master Zim,
Vex
but
was
that was
there.
Vex. That was not Helgi.
Yeah.
And there was only. There was
the gnome
only.
knows both of my ancestors.
I was wondering if the Airfingy would know of him.
Yeah, the Airfingi know of gnomes,
Okay,
but
never mind.
they're absent from Midgard.
I liked him. He was really cool.
Well, perhaps then you should hold on to the key and we'll keep talking and you hold on to whatever means of egress you have to those gnomes and we'll...
Should I go? And we should open the key to open one of the doors and get whatever is out there?
I think only if I go with you should you do that.
Should we let him go with us?
No, not at all. He,
Oh,
he
okay.
wants this way too much. We need more trust built.
Okay.
Now you have to go back to it.
Oh, rats!
It's a good thought. I want to believe him. But he's done.
Oh, why don't... No, never mind.
I think we have a clear task ahead of us.
To the shadow moat?
To the shadow moat, and we know that the key is on us. It's not going anywhere. We most certainly won't barter it for something cooler. Won't happen.
It's not going to happen.
I just said that it won't happen.
I know, but
He's
I'm saying...
already disqualified himself from his ability to influence me after his lies.
It's
so
true. I
saying
rolled very poorly.
Sincerity.
I didn't have to. I saw the smirk on Matthew's face.
That's true.
But, okay, insight.
What are you seeking to insight?
You should take me with you.
What about that?
Why were you so eager?
Go ahead.
Is this Cave of Shadows?
After all
That's
the
the one you're
information we
talking about?
heard and why you...
No, back to the...
No, to the
Have you ever
pocket
checked it out?
dimension that I'm carrying with me in my backpack.
18.
Oh, yeah.
18? You get the sense
Literally
that
on my
I forgot
back.
about that.
he knows exactly what she's referring to.
Yeah.
And that door and that the keys and a door somewhere would align, and he knows that. And he knows that that's what his wife, there's whatever is behind that door belonged to his wife. And so he would want to be with you there.
Let's go now.
It's time to leave.
All right. Without him. I mean, that's what we're going to do.
Bye!
I feel like we should probably sleep here. I did a lot of stuff.
I took a long rest. I feel great.
I'm a
Oh
little
yeah, you can
sleepy.
stay up and... Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I'm
have to
still
sleep
bleeding.
either.
So you can take your long rest if you care to.
I do.
Okay. As you all take a long
boy.
rest,
Yeah.
Do we leave the Fomorians downstairs?
Greer deals with the Fomorians
Oh,
while
okay.
you take your long rest.
Dude, he just nukes them. Can he come with us?
Ray, come!
No, you're sleeping.
No! Those abominations.
I'm going to stay up and watch Greer. I don't trust him.
He goes down to the first floor. Do you follow him?
I'd keep him in eyesight. I want to see how crazy powerful he is against these things.
He sees you watching him and says,
You can probably do this.
and he casts Sickening Radiance.
'Cause I'm a sorcerer?
He casts Sickening Radiance on the first floor and commands, you think, telepathically, mentally, all of the doors to remain shut.
Oh, that's dope.
And
Good tactic.
just steps out,
I wanted
waits
to kill
about a
them.
minute, looks back in, goes and casts it again just for good measure,
It's
They're
a
like
good-
roaches.
It's a good choice, yeah. Who knows?
and then walks down, and you see the now corpses of 3 Fomorians who have been irradiated by the spells.
Dang.
It's pretty cool.
That's what sucks when you take a nap.
He walks back behind the seat in which the head one was sitting, and he kind of pulls back the curtain, and there's a door there. He moves his fingers, the door opens, and you see a large kitchen
Oh, hey.
behind. He steps through, and he poof, 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 bangs on the wall of the kitchen, and several what look to be little, like, almost goblins
Okay.
kind of come out,
Interesting.
and
That's random.
and he looks at them and goes,
Meow. 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 Meow.
Wait.
Translate, please.
and
I do speak goblin.
okay, he says to them,
You've been silent far too long. hiding in here, eating all of my food, doing none of the work. How have your vacation days been, by the way?
And he puts them to work, getting rid of the Fomorian bodies and cooking up a fine breakfast for his guests when they wake.
They're not getting vacation time till like 3 centuries from now. No PTO for you.
They are all green goblins, and they are all corporeal, but there's something to them that's
A hint of
different. They're magically
Delicious?
conjured and augmented, and these servants are taking the form of goblins, like house goblins, but they're not necessarily living, breathing goblins. per
Like as
se.
if they were like clones.
As if, something like that.
Interesting.
So you all awake the next morning fully refreshed. You smell delicious
By the way.
breakfast foods,
That little
Glad it's
drawing you
not
did was
rabbit.
awesome.
I'm starving.
Think of what I want to
and
choose.
it is prepared and
Like a
served
lady
to
toy.
you.
That's all the food.
And Greer lets you know that
Or
You're
you could
going
do
to
it
the
in morning.
oasis.
And now it looks
Be
like
several days' journey
a young man.
through the wastes. Be careful. Don't wander into the dark boughs of any ancient trees, will you?
No ancient trees.
Only
Got
if you're around.
referring to the cave in which you encountered the Dreaming Dark.
We've never done
He
that.
points you in a southeasterly direction, and he says,
You can go straight through the waste if you wish. It'll be faster, more dangerous. Or, if you head south, there will be the Highway of the Damned in which you cross. Some more roundabouts, but a little less fraught with the environmental hazards that you may encounter, though the weather knows no bounds. Well, I'm here, and I will be in touch.
Head out.
he looks at you particularly, Helgi. Says,
My thoughts go with you, and the safekeeping of my wife's possession.
I'll protect him with my life.
If you find out anything about the Nimbus collection, let me know.
Is that what you have me look into? The
Well-
Nimbus collection?
Collective.
Collective. My bad.
Anything else?
Yeah, the moats. I'd like to know about the shadow moat.
And then related to that, progress on how, if you hear anything or can scry anything about how the city of Brass is faring, that might help arm us with some information when we get there.
Listen, in all of your studies, is there information about the shadow or the darkness that intertwines with the emergence of the aggressiveness of the void recently? If you have learned that or can look into that, your monger would be pleased with your information sharing.
Oh yes, I'll look into that. Further. It's one of the focuses of my studies. The void, the deep shadow, the dreaming dark.
You said that so creepily.
Toodaloo!
Bye!
So he makes his way back into his tower, and
Can I insight to see if those were synonyms he was naming?
sure. Yay.
Man. 17.
17. You get the sense that he was using names that referred to the same phenomena.
Interesting. Okay.
So you have a travel direction. You can go straight and go faster, or go longer and avoid some of the potential dangers of the...
I think we go quick.
I'd
Which
go
one
quick.
gets us to level 9 before we get there?
Probably the
You
quick
also
one.
get the sense that the only constraints on your time are yourselves. Meaning, if you wish to take some downtime at any point, take a day off, so to speak, you can do that, and it's a day's delay. You don't know what implications that will have beyond just another day that you wait and accomplishing your tasks. So the choice of balance is up to you.
I think we should be properly imbalanced. Just sprint. Take on exhaustion. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Let's go a little slower than that,
Oh, a normal
but still think we should take the faster route.
pace? Okay.
If we take the faster route, we could pace ourselves if we need to and take a day.
Agreed.
I'm just worried about encountering more of the environmental hazards like what drove us into the cave.
But that could happen either way.
I know.
So
But we don't have
Don't forget, I can create water twice a day, once in a lifetime now.
Did he give us supplies, by the way? Can we go back? We didn't get supplies.
Oh, maybe like a magma umbrella.
What does twice a day, once in a lifetime mean?
I don't
It's
know.
whenever
She
you
says
need it.
all the time.
Only one time ever can you do it twice in one day? That's what you're saying, right?
No.
I'm asking you, Molly.
She made this mistake way back, like
Like
7
3
episodes
months
ago,
ago.
and I've been making fun of her for it the entire time.
So I've just been bringing it up because I said I could do it once
I
a
love
day,
it.
once in a lifetime, once a day.
Love it.
Like
is no one
3 months ago.
It's
no
an
one else
inside
is
joke
worried
we
that
have.
we're trekking across the waste and none of us thought to bring supplies?
Maybe he has a magma umbrella.
I think
No, but I
we
mean, like,
distracted
food
him.
and
Magbrella?
Nah, we don't need food. Where we're going,
Haven't
we don't need
eaten
food.
in weeks.
We have half a bag of gummy worms and all our hopes of God. Let's go.
You set off.
I can hunt for things because I'm almost a ranger now.
What are we gonna eat? Magma deer?
On the morning
tacos,
They're already
everyone.
cooked.
after the Nightfall Concordance went through a night cycle, you take off on the new day, the 30-hour day,
Ugh.
and you set forth.
Ooh, nice.
And you're going direct through the Cinder Wastes.
Let's do it again.
By your reckoning, from the Spire of the Mad Wizard, which I am
Oh man.
gonna get rid of this
I'm
here.
not a zippity doo dah monk anymore.
Mm-mm.
This is gonna hurt me.
Welcome to mortality.
Um,
Man, monks are useful.
You shut up.
Don't tell Force I said that.
there. So, I don't know. That's probably really bright and not easy to see
Yeah.
on the stream. I don't know if we get a closer zoom on the map cam.
It's not too
No,
bad.
it's. I know there is. I don't know if it's on map 1 or map 2. I know one of those
It's
is
not too bad.
closer.
If you can get your laser dot on it.
Yeah. So you guys are right here, the Spire of the Mad Wizard, and you're going to be heading southeast to the Oasis
Yeah, that's
Let's
perfect.
go to the
of
muck
Mukbot the
farts.
Blind. So right here. Boom, boom.
Are we following like a river or something as it appears?
No, there are lava. There are
Veins.
lava treks through this.
Arteries.
The Highway of the Damned goes around this way and down. So you're going to be going straight through. You will pass over
Oh.
the Highway of the Damned, but you'll go straight through it rather
see.
than
I see.
around and in.
Well, if
So
it was
you
named Highway
figure-
of the Lucky,
You
I might
figure
have
that
taken one.
depending on what sort of pace you go and how the weather of the confluence treats you, this is going to be at least a 5-day travel going straight. Okay? So, we are going to roll.
Straight through, no napping.
We are going to roll on the random encounter table.
Oh boy.
Jet.
I have created a new table for this new phase of your travels as you pursue the moat, I need someone to roll a d20.
I've been rolling terribly
I
today,
got it.
so
You want it?
not me.
2.
You roll the 2.
Hugo's our roller.
We die.
As you go, you are all immediately taken by the heat again. Having been in the tower for a day or two, you got acclimatized to a comfortable
Need air conditioning.
Ray.
condition.
Ray will use her ray of frost and put it up in the air and like blow because I can do it unlimitedly. So she's just doing the ray of frost above everyone's head as the cools are.
You're like
Cools
at an
everyone
NFL
down.
game
I like
in the
that.
summer when they have the fans that blow
Yeah.
mist.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Ray just periodically
Dude, you're a
blasting
window
out
AC unit.
frost.
That's right.
But despite that,
Oh, I thought that was pretty clever. Come on.
it was clever. It was good. Despite that,
We
the
die.
heat increases.
Ugh.
And there is a whirlwind that picks up
I knew it.
as a ash storm bears down upon you. The dry, cracked obsidian ground seems to eat up all moisture within the atmosphere as the network of fire rivers kind of is enhanced with this storm as the heat is swirled up into the air. I need everyone to I need who's leading this.
I'd like to be in the frontish.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He does have the longest
My
stride.
survival isn't
I'll-
good enough.
I'll be
yet.
with Ray.
Okay, Ray, you roll a survival check for you to see if you can first find cover from this storm.
Am I trying to guidance her? Can I?
This is
Crit fail.
okay, so
Yikes.
you are all rolling at disadvantage as you
Ugh.
must make a
So that's
Constitution saving throw.
All of us?
Yeah.
I have a +6.
I
so
did roll a
I'm
20.
pretty good.
A 20 and a
Pretty good.
12.
Nice.
Yeah,
20.
you rolled really well.
20?
I did. 20.
20?
20.
20?
26.
6?
19.
10. So close.
Hasheen.
I inhaled real deep.
Come on, it's in my eyes.
You are used to the desert,
It's true.
but not.
Not like this.
You're used to sandstorms,
Yeah, this is weird.
not ash and soot storms.
Sticks through.
With this heat, you take a level of exhaustion,
Good. Yep. Awesome.
and you are, as you take a long rest, you are unable to gain the effects of the first long rest that you take. So you will effectively have 2 levels of exhaustion going into the next day.
Oh, jeez.
So do I put 2?
Yes.
Okay.
So you put 2 as you go
good.
into the next day. But before we go into the next day, as you try to hunker down behind a rock, there's no combat.
Just the elements.
No combat. However, you
Never
have the
mind.
opportunity as the storm rages around you to have any conversations amidst yourselves, one-on-one or otherwise, that you would care to do. Just giving, just giving role-playing options for you guys. However you may wish to converse in light of what you have all just experienced or questions you have about each other. Anything that you would wish to engage with as the storm, this ash storm kind of rages around you.
So Helgi, guys, that what do we think about cheese there? With the whole
Oh, I wanted to say that I'm sorry that I revealed I had the key, but I felt it was his, or it was his, and he needed to know that he could at least trust that we would reveal things like that to him.
I guess.
Well, if you guys want to get out of this ash storm, we can see what it opens right now.
You can get to sigil whenever you want.
No, it's not sigil. Ray's gonna pull out her little pocket dimension piece of wood. We go in, this has a secret door, and then there's a little gnome who works for the Iron Throne. I really don't remember his name. I have it written down
I
somewhere.
think it was Keon.
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn? Yeah, so, and then we can see when it opens, and we could get out of the storm. And he's pretty funny to talk to, too. But he's, like, super duper 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 powerful, so you really don't want to, like, cross him or lie to him, because he seems, like, really powerful.
So here's the deal. We did promise that if we got back, we would take cheese with us.
Well, we could just see what it opens and then not open it, and
Well,
then
if
take
he's-
cheese with us.
Have you ever heard of Pandora's box?
Maybe.
It's an old story.
Oh, I have a friend who used to love telling stories.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
my first best friend.
Oh, yeah?
You'd like him.
Well, maybe.
I will note, before you left, you guys did utilize the Jabberwock blood on the Hopper Gate.
Oh.
So you do have the ability to hop back to Greer's Tower
One time.
through the
times.
use of the Hopper.
Oh, okay, cool.
Through the use of the
100
Hopper.
times.
You have with Dragon's Blood, so it's the
Yep.
same.
1,000 times.
This is a gate that only works within this
Plane. Got
plane. It's not interplanar, it's
Okay.
intraplanar. So you did do that. FYI.
I don't think we should go open Pandora's box without cheese. And I don't begrudge you, Helgi, for admitting it. I just don't know if I trust him yet. If he was willing to make a bad deal to try to save his dead wife, it feels very necromantic to me. I'm not a huge fan of that. Still don't know if we can trust him. That's where I'm coming from. I'm not saying you are wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. Just saying.
I think he made terrible mistakes out of grief. I think he learned firsthand the consequences of them.
People
I'd
will
like to trust him.
do absolutely horrific things for people they love.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean they're right, though, you know?
That is true.
Yeah, like when all my friends died, I cut my hair, and it was so wild, but now it's good again.
I did find it alarming that he seems to think the only person hurt by his actions was himself, when
That's what I'm getting
who
at.
knows what they were up to utilizing his tower for. But having said that, who are we to begrudge someone trying to right their wrongs?
When it starts to affect other people,
Well, I mean, I'm saying if he's trying to right it the right way, using what we'd like to call the right way,
okay,
and make amends.
evidence shows that he wasn't doing it the right way.
Well, I think we were the first step to correct his mistakes.
This is what they call a lover's quarrel.
What was that, Ray?
I'm noticing.
What'd you say, Ray?
Nothing?
So, I mean, I don't want to spit in the face of somebody trying to fix a mistake that they're making. I think that if we give a little trust, then wisely, I'm not saying be stupid about it, but I think it could be a very powerful ally for us.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's gonna earn it.
Did anyone else see that cool sarcophagus? With the giants?
Nah, I really didn't care about that one.
Oh, that one was so cool.
I was way more interested about the dead body in the cage.
Oh, that's kind of lame. But on the sarcophagus, I saw how you see how my hammer's broken in half? On the sarcophagus, it was also broken in half, and I thought that was pretty cool. Because at one point, this means that this was broken in half.
That seems very relevant to you, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Bird person.
Why didn't you
Yeah.
ask Greer about that?
I did, but then you guys kept on asking other questions, and I felt like the other questions were more important than my questions.
Hey.
But I did ask it.
You did?
Yeah.
She did. What about the big
You
Why
guys just
didn't
kept
he
talking
answer?
over me.
the big giant
He didn't answer.
sarcophagus?
And then I asked for money, and then you
Oh,
immediately
I
changed
thought that was an
subject.
adjective,
Yeah.
No.
not a descriptive.
Literal giant.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
He did.
Maybe.
He referred to the first sarcophagus as someone who was a slayer of
Dragon.
dragons,
But the
but-
sarcophagus
and the one who,
had the storm
and
on
the
it.
one who built the tower. But he didn't really go into any more detail beyond
know.
that.
I know.
Whose words? I didn't get there yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, bird person,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about these Sid people and what the heck
Oh yes,
you
it's
got going
several,
on.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was wondering
pretty
if
clever
anything
name.
that you had done with
Thanks.
them intersects with anything that we have learned recently with you.
Well, we were being chased by people that were trying to kill us for something we didn't do, and we did a lot of things we probably shouldn't have done, but that was
Are you
something
guys
we
bad
didn't do.
guys?
No, we're not bad guys.
Oh, okay then.
Just because you are a bad guy does not mean you are a bad guy.
I did get here through a place with a lot of doors and keys.
Interesting how that overlaps.
Was it Sigil?
I have no idea. It was
No.
supposed to send me somewhere way different, so it didn't really help me.
Where was it supposed to send you?
Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I heard about that place.
I think I have too.
A lot of trade goes through there.
Who opened the
Yeah.
door that sent you here?
A
The gnome?
Gnome.
a gnome.
Oh,
And
I
I
have a
wasn't supposed to
completely
be there,
unrelated question.
so I was sort of pushed through a door.
Wasn't supposed to be in Sigil.
He may have
What
put you
kind
right
of
where
power
he wanted
can create
you.
a back door into Sigil that they wouldn't know about? Or maybe they did know about
They
it. who knows?
probably do know. From what I know about Sigil, they know all the doors and all the places. There are no mistakes in Sigil.
That's what I thought, but then how did she mistakenly get there?
Maybe it wasn't a mistake.
Ooh,
Well, you
the
said-
plot thickens.
Maybe they wanted you to come through?
Her perspective, mistake. Their perspective, or the god's perspective, if you want to go down that road.
There's only one god.
Sure, god's perspective.
One important god, I should say.
Although it's really hot here, I kind of wish I wasn't here right now.
So here's something I learned living in the desert. You want to cool off, huh?
I do.
Okay.
Ray of Frost! Boom!
It's one way.
Snowball.
The other way
Thank you.
You're
is
welcome.
you have to dig a hole and get a little bit below the surface level. The ground's always cooler down there.
Ah, that's so smart.
Yeah. You should try it.
I'm gonna start like
I
scratching
start,
with my
I
talons
start molding
in the
earth for
ground.
everybody, and over time make a cave under the rock.
You need to be careful that like it doesn't tip over.
Oh.
And then you suffocate.
I start
Don't
making
worry.
out of strips of cloth, just from cast-offs and everything, bits of masks that we can wear to keep out the ash
Yep.
and sand.
Also important, and it's important to try to keep the sun at your back, because if you keep walking into, well, it's different here.
The sun, there's no sun.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
Normally.
it's fake. Because if you keep walking
standing
into
on
it,
the
that's
sun.
how you run into mirages.
standing
Let's just say.
So what's it like being a sorcerer?
Well, let me tell you, it's
Yes, Ashin, tell us what it's
it's
like. being a
pretty
sorcerer.
cool to just know that you can do magic twice a day. You know, as you know, so-
rest.
yeah,
Ah.
twice a short rest. It's pretty interesting to know you can do that. Like this guy over here has to read and study, and like me, twice a short rest just comes out to me. Isn't that neat, Ugo? Huh? We're
Yeah.
like the same but
You-
different.
You take a rest and just then blow your load. I get it.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I can do it multiple times a day. You know?
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Not really what I would have
Cut.
expected from
A sorcerer.
a sorcerer.
Why? What do you expect?
That sounds a lot like me.
What are you?
I'm a warlock.
Are you trying to tell me that you bird person and me Hashin were the same thing? How many times a day can you do spells, huh? How about per short rest, huh?
Twice.
Oh. Yeah, but like,
I'm not making any.
I bet like when you cast, they
Assumptions.
don't cast at the highest level, like sorcerers, right? Do yours?
I don't know. Do they? They do. Yeah, they
All right.
actually do.
Okay, so time out. Time out. So you're telling me twice a short rest, you can cast spells at the highest level that you can cast them at. Just naturally.
Yeah.
Don't you see? You too
I'm.
are a sorcerer.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the
okay.
logical conclusion here.
You know, it was really hard for me to accept
Though
at first.
it's interesting that you
also.
have Eldritch Blast. Usually sorcerers don't have that. I
Do
don't
you
have
not?
I don't have it though, you
Oh.
know?
I have like a hexblade curtain.
Can I guidance his own insight on himself?
Hold on a second. But then, like, you have a patron, though, right?
I do. Yes.
Who is it?
My patron is the Raven Queen.
Oh, it makes sense because you're a bird person. She's a bird person.
Yeah.
I don't have a patron, though. Like, I woke up one day after I got the ring and I could do magic.
Oh.
Naturally.
See,
After you got the ring.
I didn't know who my patron was for a while.
Oh.
I had an unfortunate encounter. And then the next morning I woke up and I could do magic and
twice a day, twice a short rest at your
and there
highest
was
level.
birds that would follow me, and I didn't quite put it together.
So, okay. So, you didn't know who your patron was. One day you woke up, you could cast magic, twice a short rest at the highest level you could cast it. And then you found out who your patron was.
Pretty much.
Are
That's the very simplified version.
I do see some similarities. But you don't seem bad.
Well, thank you.
Nah, you
I
seem
hope
pretty,
I'm not bad.
No, you seem pretty nice, I mean.
Except
I
the
am.
gnomes didn't want her where she was.
Yeah, but
Nope.
gnomes are finicky. My adoptive father was a gnome, so they can sometimes make decisions that's best for them and the tribe, rather than you.
Isn't that everybody?
Not some people think of the good of the whole rather than the good of themselves. I guess. From
You were
his
raised by a gnome?
adoptive father. So I didn't know my dad, and then my mom passed away when I was young, and then I was a part of the Alsarik tribe,
Is that when you collected items for the...
Yeah, so we
You have to tell me more about that. You promised!
I know. I
I have to know what I'm fighting against.
We were basically tomb raiders for rich people.
Have you ever heard of the Cave of Wonders?
Oh yeah,
Have you ever been there?
I saw it one time. It moves.
I have a key for it.
We
Record
should
scratch.
go.
Time out. What?
I have a key to get in.
The whole key?
The whole key.
You have the whole key for the Cave of Wonders.
Did we talk about this like a couple
I
episodes
thought I
ago?
had the whole
You
key.
have half of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have the half of the key, but you know the Keyshawn that I was telling you about?
Yeah?
He has the other half.
Why the F are we not there now?
We talked about this a while ago.
So-
I think.
If we trade that key for the Scarab key...
Oh, that's a great idea, but that feels like he would go back on a deal, and I don't want to put.
Well, we have to
Helgi
find
into
something
that position.
equally powerful to trade for that
Wait till I
Scarab
die.
That's
key.
why we're
Next
going to
character will do
Monkfat's
it.
tomb.
Next
There's some
episode.
cool shit there.
He
that
really
we could
only cares
trade.
about keys.
There might be a key there. We don't even know.
Okay.
Okay.
I
so,
used to have plenty of keys, and then I lost all my stuff when I got here.
Well, it has to
I'm
be
sorry.
special keys.
He also cared about unique doors.
Oh, keys and doors.
keys and doors. We could
Doors
figure
and
that out.
keys, keys and doors.
So, do you guys think though that, more importantly, that I'm a warlock like her?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's quite
Is it that obvious?
It
What-
very much is.
What does it matter?
Have you ever met a good warlock?
Yes, you!
I have.
Well, I'm not. I didn't know I was one.
Not just
I
you.
told you this in our
Just time,
second
y'all.
conversation!
Just step out of the closet. It's all right.
I have
mean,
brothers
just
that are...
come
that
into
are
the light.
warlocks.
Every warlock I've. I lost it.
Was your gnome adopted dad a warlock?
Boss is his patron!
No, not at all. I don't know what he was. He had some pretty good connections, Aloquin. Papa Aloquin. Yeah.
That was the gnome's name.
Eloquent?
Aloquin.
Aloquin.
Where did you get your ring?
Funny story.
Eloquent?
It always
Eloquent.
is.
Aloquin gave it to me, saying that my mama, my Umi, and Baba would want me to have it.
So who did your Umi follow?
Eloquent.
If it's not a nom, I really don't care. But
My Umi wasn't a warlock.
no, but did she have a god that she liked?
Yeah, some people like to worship the goddess of luck because we kind of needed it when you're going after Netherese tombs.
You know what? I have an idea.
Can I make a religion check on who that would be?
Sure.
Sometimes when I get really confused, and my mom taught me how to do this too. You pray and you have to think, and then sometimes your patron, for in my case, well, usually my ancestors. I've never actually talked to a nom, but I can teach you some celestial prayers, and then maybe you'll get to meet your patron.
I know celestial.
Well, I can teach you prayers.
I know a lot of the prayers.
Well, then say some prayers.
Okay, I say one.
Well, you have to, like, meditate. So first, you need to get your hair perfect. So Ray starts, like, patting his hair down to make it, like, pristine. And now you have to try to think and really concentrate and then say a prayer. But wait, your hair's not perfect yet. She,
I don't know if that'll make a
does a little
difference.
bit of ray of frost above him and uses the
Do you frost my tips?
Yep.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay, so
Oh, you're talking about hair. Okay.
who is my patron then?
That's what you have to figure out. Pray.
It's
Franks and beans,
possible
put
it
in
could
that way,
be
you know, the way.
entities, it could be gods or goddesses, it could even be archfey, I've heard.
Ugh,
Jake.
Were you ever
That's for
told,
Hugo.
it's for Hugo.
Oh, Hugo.
Shin, were you ever told any stories
your
about...
accent.
What was your religion check?
Oh, I'm in too much pain, I'm not listening to it.
Okay.
In 1 ear, 1 out. It was a 5.
That's That's good enough to know that
It's a reference.
Tamora is the goddess of fortune, who, the goddess of luck, good luck. She's a neutral leaning good god.
So
I would
mean,
mention that to you then.
our tribe was good people, you know. Just we had rich benefactors who wanted some antiquities. We'd go get them, and then we give it to them for a fee.
If you're preoccupied with luck
Did you
or...
say Franks and Beans?
It says
It's
Hugo.
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 Oh.
I don't know why he wants me to say Franks and Beans.
Why'd you roll the...
Franks and beans.
Russian self.
Franks and beans.
I mean, if your family worshipped or even your tribe worshipped a god or goddess of luck, then that sounds like it would be Tamora.
I don't know. Do you ever get lucky?
I think I'm lucky all the time. I mean, I know you guys. I lived. I got lucky when I put this ring on. I became a maybe a warlock. Yet to be determined.
Perhaps it would be
Just make
worth
sure-
it if you just tried to commune in some sense, and I can walk you through meditation if you'd like.
Make sure your hair's perfect. It must be
Well-
perfect,
Listen,
or else it won't be accepted.
So you guys continue with your conversation about Tamora and meditation and communing as the storm rages around you. You guys all get into the hole that was created by Helgi as he molded the earth around you. Hashin, you in your meditation kind of decide to stay out in the storm. And it's a bit more hot, but it's exhausting, but it suits you as you try to lose yourself in your communing. You guys go through the rest of your day as you watch as the storm subsides and you take your rest. You all are able to sleep uncomfortably, but sleep.
Ew.
Except for Hashin, you do take another level of exhaustion, as I mentioned.
Yep.
As you go into your second day of travel, you did not gain a day because of the storm. So
Yeah.
you are still
At 5.
5 days
Hey,
away.
Ray,
Yeah,
could you carry me?
absolutely. I've been waiting this whole time for someone to ask me that.
Okay, because I feel like I'm moving at half my movement speed.
I would have used some of the
Ray piggybacks him.
knowledge I learned from Hugo's wizardry to identify this key in the meanwhile. If
Okay.
there's anything that I can learn.
So-
Wizarding it.
There is nothing. While the key is made of unique metals and seems to be infused with some sort of abjuration magic, there is no unique properties to the key itself that Identify would reveal. You guys seek to continue on. You're being carried, Hashin.
Piggyback.
I want to roll the d20 this time.
Okay, you go roll that d20.
16. Oh boy.
I think we throw Hashin at whatever comes our way.
While I'm getting
I'll,
carried, I'm trying to
Thor.
commune with my patron.
Your hair's not perfect enough.
Hello.
Oh no.
Oh, can you imagine?
Is P-Farce in the chat by any
that I've
chance?
seen.
No.
Haven't seen him tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Well,
I don't like that you asked that though. Have to be rolled.
as you're traveling, Cacophony,
Yes.
you hear a voice speak in your mind. One you recognize. One that is flustered, or rather, intensely focused, yet strained. Concerned. That's it. It's concern that crosses your mind as the voice asks,
Cacophony, yeah. Are you safe? Yeah. Do you know where you are? Can you return to us? Or can we get to you? We are all ready, yeah.
you know what I mean? As Rika's
find
voice
it.
rings through your mind, you have the ability to respond in 25 words or less.
All right. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is.
You just delete it?
I'm moving it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stop walking just at like the sound of Rika's voice. And then I'm gonna respond, I guess in my head. I don't need to say it out loud. I'm okay-ish. Lost my stuff. Sulune and the Raven Queen had another plan for me. Must defend the light on another plane. See you again.
Put it on a mental postcard too, with the desert background.
I'm okay-ish, lost my stuff. Salune and the Raven Queen had another plan for me. Must defend the light, see you again.
On another plane.
another plane.
Must defend the light on another plane.
Mm-hmm.
PLAIN. Amber waves.
Of grain?
Okay.
Grains, growing plains.
Okay. You all watch as Cacophony stops for a moment, maybe 10 seconds. Do you do anything else after that, Cacophony?
No, I just keep going.
I know that face.
What?
Something happened up in the old noggin, eh?
Yeah, I just got a message from my old friends.
Are you sure it was
They
your friend?
were, actually, well, it sounded like them, and it was more of making sure I was okay.
No more power or longer hair. Ray picks up a piece of your feather. See if it's longer.
No, nothing like
It's
that.
like lifting up someone's
Just-
skirt. How rude.
Just making sure I'm okay.
That's good of them.
I hope they're
That's
okay.
nice.
I hope they made it back where they were supposed to go.
As you have this conversation about Cacophony and the voice that she heard and her friends asking if she was okay, Cacophony, you walk and your foot
Landmine.
steps on a
Fireball.
spot and you hear a
Uh-oh.
as your talons kind of scratch and
Oh.
claw and almost like going like a sponge across glass, like that kind of a
Mm.
sound. And you look down and it seems that in the ashen storm that was blown up, there is a maybe 1 foot by 1.5 foot smooth surface of what looks to be some sort of stone that your foot has kind of scratched against.
Fast walk, fast walk, fast walk.
What color is
It
this stone?
intrigues you innately. What do you do?
I'm gonna stop and bend down and brush it off.
you begin brushing in. Now you all see her stop and are doing this. As you brush, you uncover the ash relatively easily, and it looks to be maybe a 6 foot wide by maybe 3 foot, 6 foot long, 3 foot wide, rectangular marble surface. That as you go around the edge, you see it has kind of a beautiful, almost dovetailed, like rounded end that gives way to a smoky wooden molding underneath.
How the hell did this get here?
Do you want me to lift it up?
Is that smart?
I don't know, but I'm curious.
Yeah, this definitely didn't happen to land here, I guess.
Well, caravans
right?
break down out here all the time.
Is
Part of
Yeah,
the
but a
hazards.
marble caravan?
It was carrying marble goods.
Does this look like you know what you put a dead body in?
Oh, a casket?
Yeah, something like that. Or
Yeah,
like what
kinda
was in
does.
Greer's basement.
Pole.
You would need to dig around it further to discern that.
And
This
it's
is
just,
a flat slab.
what do you think? We dig a little bit and lose
We can
time?
mold
Well,
earth.
can't you just move
Oh.
the earth around? I've seen you do that before.
Yeah, he did it for us to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Do you think that this will get me closer to the storm?
It could.
I don't know.
All we know is a casket
Or-
of magical storm stopping. Wouldn't that be a kicker?
Will this slow us down?
We left it.
It could do both.
How long does it take you to mold earth?
Mere moments.
You know, sometimes I say it's not about the destination, but about the adventure on the way there.
And the friends
Never
you make
said
along the
that.
way.
That is right.
I only ever heard you say that as a joke before you killed someone in the pit.
Those were the good old days.
Getting nostalgic, huh?
I'll move some sand around.
You cast your mold earth, and as soon as you clear away the sides, it becomes evident that this is no sarcophagus.
Okay,
Good.
that's good.
You look
It's the tooth of a dragon.
and you see that there is ornately carved legs,
Ooh.
Table of tables.
as you look on this smoky wood. It reveals a beautiful and ornate table
I'm taking it! Ray will lift it up.
with 14 drawers.
Whoa.
Each drawer a different color and type of wood.
Does it fit in the bag of holding? Her bag of holding.
As there are 2 on either sides of the 6 foot wide span, there are handles. As you, Ray, wrap your fingers around both, it immediately folds up,
Oh.
and almost like the legs retract, and it goes up into a 6-inch
Whoa.
by 3-inch by 3-inch or by 4-inch depth. No, yes, it's a standing desk. That's right. 4-inch miniature of itself that you feel like you could expand or contract as you see fit.
This is pretty
Whoa.
cool.
Not unlike your folding boat.
Interesting.
The
Do I
design.
recognize it?
The design is very ornate, and it is quite beautiful, and the 14 drawers are also very beautiful. Each one is a slightly different kind of design or molding within the wood, and like I said, each one is a different color or type of wood, which you can explore further if you care to on your travels. You now have the tabula rasa the table of tables.
Nice.
Awesome.
Since it
This
does
is a
it
bad
look
omen.
like it was
I never should have
made by
unburied
a
this thing.
giant?
Sorry?
Does it look like it was made by a giant? If it
Yeah, is there
reminds-
a
if it
maker's-
folds
like a maker's
like
mark?
a-
Don't inflate farce further than he
Roll an
already is.
investigation.
He's
not on,
he's
so
no
we're okay.
giant.
Guidance.
guidance.
Yeah, I want to see if there's a maker's
Well,
mark or
if
something.
if it folds like mine,
It would stand to reason, right?
10.
Really?
10.
Yikes.
You
Rolled a
fold it
5.
back out and begin to look around it, and you don't see a maker's mark on it anywhere, though it is of clearly mastercraft level workmanship.
Yeah, I'd say.
You, with your knowledge of woodworking, you do have proficiency in carpenter's tools, I believe. Please roll a d12.
Interesting.
12.
Ooh.
I was
12.
just gonna say sorry. Those were in
Worked
the
out
way,
well.
but I don't like the way the music is turning.
I know, it was very pleasant.
Oh,
a few
no.
moments ago.
Your eye,
12
okay, you
then.
rolled a 12. Your eye is immediately drawn to a yellowed wood with a brownish gray wavy grain that is made of ironwood. You are able to discern that that particular drawer, the 12th drawer, is made of ironwood.
Cool.
That's what you discern through your investigation. You think if you spend more time with it, you might be able to discern more of the types of wood, but that's what you were able to get, is the ironwood.
I could sell that thing for so much money. I won't.
Well-
I'm just saying I could.
This is like a door. Scarab key?
No, I get it. It's pretty neat. I'm just saying I could.
It's
There are
not
no
a
key-
door, it's a table.
There are
What is
no
wrong with you?
keyholes in these drawers, but as you go to open them, they do not
I was gonna say,
open.
did you try to open them?
Not yet.
Just looked at it
It was very pretty.
and then called it a door. You think it was offended?
I don't know.
Otherwise, you continue in your
Beautiful-
travels,
Beautiful find, Ray.
and you make it through the rest of the day without any issue. Please roll for day 3 of your travels, day 2 of your progress. You can take a long rest and get 1 of your levels of exhaustion back.
Yep.
15.
15.
We find another table. A coffee table.
Not a good look.
I don't know. I don't like that look around.
Meteorites.
Whatever happens, you have to do it without me. I won't be here next week.
As you are walking through
I
the
don't like this sigh.
the ashen strewn wasteland around you, there is an intense peak of fire
Ugh.
that boils up from a nearby pit of lava.
Uh-oh.
This is not uncommon, but the
Is it the return of that thing Hugo stabbed in the head?
The little,
I come back for a vengeance.
the little fire nuke? I wanted that to be my friend.
the length.
You know, Vex didn't have a good track record.
True.
Probably would have slit his throat and then stuff.
The length of time that this gout of fire is emitted is much more prolonged and diffuse. It's wider than a normal spray.
Ooh.
And you swear that there is a shape that is emerging within. It it looks to be almost humanoid, but made of pure fire.
It's a sultan.
Oh my gosh.
As
Or a devil.
you
Please.
hear a
don't.
voice that echoes out from the fire.
Who travels my wastes? Face the wrath of the Arcomental
Arclement?
Imix.
As the form grows and grows and
Cast your water on
grows,
him.
you are now in combat with a level 24 being.
Are you?
And we'll pick up there next week.
We have the dragon giveaway still.
We do.
Back to the tower.
This is
Restart.
this is some bullshit.
I'm gonna go talk
You
to
sure
the
we
key goblin and tell
he
him he made a
asked us
mistake.
question and we don't even get to answer?
Yeah.
Why would you ask a question?
It
You
was
didn't want
more of
the
a
answer.
more of a question that
It was rhetorical.
rhetorical. It's more of a who do you think you are type of a thing.
You like my
Rats.
attempt at spelling, whatever he.
right
I
here.
gotta go get my Imix mini. You have all heard of
Son of a
the
gun.
Arcomental Imix, by the way.
Oh, good.
Well, actually, Helgi, you haven't. But let me go to
That's
the
great.
place that you would have heard it.
This is wonderful. Did you
Okay.
get cliffhanger? Arcomental Imix?
Don't worry, I found him.
Go for it.
Huh?
What do your notes say?
Oh, I have to first buy the book. I'm doing it right now. Don't worry about it.
No, you have
Oh,
actually
this
the
doesn't look
name
friendly.
was not mentioned directly. There was a hopper portal that read with the inscription "A devil's ire, none wish to draw,
Yep.
but this fiend's defeat may come through its flaw. Should you wish to open this gate, the thirst of Asgaroth you must permanently sate." Asgaroth, Hugo, you are aware, was a pit fiend general.
I knew this too.
The name of the general's master is Imix.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
we
that's
skipped
wonderful.
him. We went straight
We
up the
went,
ladder.
no. I want to go to the manager.
We said, "Can I speak to your manager,
He's
please?"
a huge elemental, and he's neutral evil. So at least we got that going for us. He's neutral.
You get the sense,
Holy
well,
crap.
you get the sense that you guys should prepare for next week
To run.
Yeah.
to do something, and you may or may not be facing the full fury of this creature outside
Piss it off.
outside of its well, you would know, Hugo and Celine, in the Sulphur Mountains is its actual abode, which in our map here is
You need to just satiate
To
whatever-
the
whatever
west of you.
satiating its Thirst is.
so you're traveling from here to here, you're like here,
What is it thirst for?
it is to the west of you. So
Blood.
there we go.
Wow.
Imix
All right.
released.
Good thing this is only the kind of guy that, red dragons worship as a god. Easy enough.
Can you?
We're gonna do our second dice giveaway. Who won the first one, by the way?
The new Kiri, Koji guy. Yeah.
Koji. Did they send a address to someone?
I told him to message Leap Die Repeat.
Okay, I have not gotten anything. So Koji, if you're still watching, please get us your address. We're gonna do the second. Do we know what dice he selected?
No, he was gonna message you the answer.
Oh. Okay. Well, I did not get that.
I mean, he didn't respond. I told him to do that.
Okay. Well, we're going to give away the second set of dice. And if you would like to have your opportunity to win those dice, then you can type into the chat right now, ! Flames. F-L-A-M-E-S. ! Flames. F-L-A-M-E-S. For your chance to win those dice. We are going to give away the dragon as well. And that spider dragon that you see rotating there, if you would like your... okay, if Koji messaged me on Discord, I should hope to get that there. Let me see if they might have messaged me on Discord. Koji...
He's in trouble, guys.
Yes, he did message me, or she, I don't know. Okay. Wow. Did not say which they won, which set they want. So whoever wins this one can choose, and we'll send Koji the other one. Exclamation point flames for your chance to win those dice. And by the way, Carissa has agreed to come early on Thursday of this week
Oh yeah, I signed up for that.
to help me
I forgot about that.
to help me pack up all the giveaways.
You needed help.
I did need help, so we're gonna
This
pack.
sad man.
It's pathetic. I'm swamped. What's the line in The Princess Bride? I've got a wife. I've got a war to plan, a wife to murder, and Gilda to frame for it. I'm swamped.
Leslie.
So we are gonna now give away the dragon. You can still enter for the dice, exclamation point flames, for the dragon. If you would like your chance to win the spider dragon, you can type into the chat right now, exclamation point spider, S-P-I-D-E-R, exclamation point spider, for your chance to win the dragon. Please stick around after the stream ends as we announce the winners for the dice and the dragon. And whoever wins the dice, please let us know which of the two sets you would like. It is, in fact, an inconceivable giveaway. Phantom, well done. All right, thank you guys so much for sticking around with us tonight as we went through a roleplay heavy session. And we promise to start the session next week with a potential TPK. So, until then, we hope you join us on Thursday night this week.
This guy's doing really well.
As we have our next session of Candlekeep Accords. And we get to reverse some roles here. Chris and I get to play PCs.
Woo!
And Jake is going to DM. And that'll be this Thursday,
nice
starting at
break before we
7:30.
die.
But regardless of whether we can catch you next this Thursday, we hope to see you next Tuesday night, right here, Eastern Standard Time, as we pick up our conflict with Imix, and the party continues to loot, die, and repeat. Good night, everyone. Cheers.
Just picked a name and then we died.
What a way to kill us.
I know, right? On a random roll. 15? Is that what you rolled?
Yeah.
Interesting.